Alrighty. Alrighty then. Alrighty then. Done, done, and done. Pop off on Instagram, let the people know that I'm live. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Hi, Devil Alex. Hold on. I gotta pop off. Live on YouTube, we're gonna be covering Trump saying that he loves inflation and that the war in Iran is completely, hold on. Live on YouTube, we're going to be covering Donald Trump saying that he loves inflation and that the war in Iran is back on, baby, and that we're going to keep on bombing them. But don't worry, we're only a couple of days away from a deal, but we're going to keep on bombing them and we're going to destroy all their bridges. This is at least according to the President of the United States. Then we're also going to talk about how Nancy Mace, that beans-eating bitch, just got fucking scrounced. She got demolished in her primary. It's absolutely fucking hilarious. Eat shit, Nancy Mace, you farting stinky ass bitch. And then also Graham Plattner's victory. We have a lot to talk about. I'm live on YouTube. Come check it out. Valenti videos on YouTube, live right now. Live on YouTube. We're gonna be live on. I'm live on YouTube right now. There we go. Getting close to a year as a loyalist. You're one of the few people keeping me grounded. Thanks. No, thank you. Unbanned and still no noties and no ray gun. Yeah, bad news, gang. The ray gun is gone. The ray gun, it's too much of a risk. Apparently, it's considered a firearm, and it's a violation of the firearm policy. So, you know, risk reward, it ain't worth having it in the background. I know it's bullshit and it's stupid, but risk reward, it ain't worth it. Excuse me. Meanwhile, I have a fucking lightsaber there, which I would argue is far more dangerous than the ray gun, because I'm frankly certain the lightsaber could deflect ray gun blasts. I'm not too sure. Incredible. Buongiorno. Hello, disobedient avocado. How are ya? More space for fan art, I guess. Indeed. And also, I've got some big news for you guys. There is a new podcast that is going to be coming out soon. Okay, we're gonna film the first episode. Me, Avi, and Nelson. We're gonna film the first episode at the end of the month. It's gonna be great. We're gonna call it the New World Podcast, or New World with Chris Valenti. Reason being, I'm Italian. Avi's Indian, and Nelson is Puerto Rican. And when Christopher Columbus showed up to the New World, he thought the Puerto Ricans were the Indians. Yeah, right? It's good. I dig it. It's a little racist, but so am I, you know? It's okay. It's all in love. Is this the second one? There is no war in Lebanon. Yes. Big fan. I love it. All right, so that, and then other volume is super low today. No, it isn't. New Shure microphone. No, it's not. My volume is not very low. Your volume is very low. That is a lie. You are a liar. Chris, please tell me you're joking. I am not joking. That is absolutely going to be the name of the show. And this is probably going to be primarily like, operated and controlled by our liege Nelson. Other than that, don't flex too hard. I'm sure your biceps are classified as guns. No, but my triceps are, baby. Did you get the doc? No. Somebody send me the link to the doc. And then the second thing, for some big news, I'm taking this whole setup and I'm pushing it about 6 feet forward. It's going to be against that wall, so I'm going to be further away from this wall. It's going to open up the second half there, and I'm opening up a P.O. box so you guys can send me some stuff. This summer is going to be the summer of the Lent, okay? The summer of the Lenti. It will be the summer of the Lenti. Thank you for the doc, you tussy. I've got her queued up there. It will be the summer of Lent. I promise you. By the end of this summer, there will be massive upgrades. Did you see someone else's office and get inspired? You think your office inspired me? Is that what you think? I have been wanting to upgrade my office for so fucking long, but all I've had to do is get past the laziness. And really the big problem is getting rid of that fucking futon and getting rid of that fucking table. I've got to talk to my front desk and see if I can put it in the giant fucking trash room and see if they'll take it away. Because you know how it is with furniture. It's always difficult to throw away furniture. You know? So you repping that Michigan shirt the other day? Hell yeah, welcome back. That's what happens when you fall in love with a lady from Michigan. You end up with a Michigan shirt. Need reactions for the thummies? Yeah, sure, I got you. So wait, the first one is I love inflation. The first one is when he says I love inflation. So it's going to be... Okay, and then the second one is there is no war in Lebanon, like Bossing say, and that one's gonna be, hold on, that one's gonna be, good, 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 got it, Nelson, you good? You got him? You good? We are Charlie Kirk, we carry the flame. We fight for the gospel and honor his name. We are Charlie Kirk. Yeah. Thanks for becoming a member for 4 months. Thank you for the obligatory monthly reminder that I'm an OG. You are an OG. Oh, by the way, I'm just going to tell you guys this now. When we do film the first episode of the New World podcast, it is going to be free. The first episode is going to be free and available to everybody. But then the following episodes are going to be either member only or Patreon only. Okay, that's what it's going to end up being. Gotta be making some bread, you know, gotta be making some bread somehow, some way. You know, if I was doing the shit that other fucking content creators would be doing, I would have tens of millions of dollars. Every fucking video would have like a 15-minute ad break talking about NordVPN or some dumb shit. You know, it's diabolical. It's diabolical. It's diabolical. OG should get a discount. If you're already a member, you're not gonna have to pay diddly shit. You're not gonna have to pay diddly shit. If you're already a paying patron, you're not gonna have to pay diddly shit. All right. Anyway, let's dive into the daily docu-tussy. Oh, this is brutal. Oh, this is brutal. I don't even want to talk. That's brutal. Welcome back. Chris made a simple doc today instead of 26 pages because apparently no one remembers how collapsible headliners on Google Docs work. Anyways, better show. Donald says he loves inflation. Indeed. Sarah McBride wins her election. Nancy Mace lost hers, and Plattner takes a main primary. Indeedly and doodly and doddly. Oh, I did crash the Discord. Dude, look at my legs there. My legs kind of look fucking meaty and beefy and strong. Wow, I'm looking handsome. Bo Bansome. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Is that because he's Australian? Why does he kind of look like me? Like, do my fans just look like me? Do you guys just look like me? That guy looks like me. That motherfucker looks like me. That's crazy. That's crazy. The weather. UFC White House could be canceled as the weather forecast predicts. You're out of your damn mind if you think Donald will cancel this over the weather. Donald will have it in a thunderstorm. He'll be doing it in a hurricane. He'll do it in a tornado. He doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't give a fuck. But I would love if it rained on Donnie's parade. Are you fucking kidding me? What? Robots being trained for UFC fights? Yo, did you see the way that thing got up? Nope. Nuke it. Oh my God! That's the scariest shit I've ever seen in my life! Oh my God, could you imagine? You're defending your fucking home, some fucking clanker comes in and you're ready for it, you're prepared, you got like a steel bat and it walks in the door and you bash its fucking knee, it falls to the ground and it comes up like this? Off the iron piece, straight to the dome, son, you're cooked. What happened to that one's head? What? Wait, what? What the fuck happened to his head? Oh my fuck. That's horrifying. That's horrifying. Kyle wants to be targeted by MAGA. I'm sure he fucking does.
All right, y'all. So this is crazy, but we're now at the point where left-wing YouTubers...
Bro, I'm pissed I'm not on that fucking website. But luckily, you guys aren't going to believe this. I don't mean to scare the fuck out of you, but this should scare the fuck out of you. You go to whitehouse.gov. Menu. Media offenders, misleading, biased, and exposed, media offender of the week, right? And it's got all these things, but do you see what I see? Do you see what I see? Do you see what I see? Submit a tip. Oh my God. Valenti boy, you're my goat. When are you gonna stream with King Triv again? Those streams were dope. Probably never again. Triv told me he doesn't want to be friends with me anymore, and he didn't tell me why, because he's a little pussy boy bitch. So probably never again. But this is real. Dude, should I report myself? Should I report myself? That'd be really fucking funny. But yeah, that's absolutely horrifying. That's absolutely fucking horrifying. And then what do I have here? Oh yeah, let's put that right there.
And, you know, Twitch streamers and so-called influencers, I hate that word, but we're now, being targeted by the White House. They're now tracking us and listening to us and seeing what we're saying and trying to highlight how terrible and bad and evil we are. So look at this. The White House has now listed Hassan Piker on their website under left-wing lunacy media offenders. Other individuals on the list include Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Kimmel, Don Lemon, and Rachel Maddow. Now, let me just pause right here to point out, we've been warning liberals about this. There's leftists on the platform. I consider myself a leftist. Hassan's a leftist. There's many other leftists on this platform. But there's also many liberal commentators who are not fans of Hassan, not fans of myself. But, like, we've warned them that...
We are not recording yet,
listen,
no.
bro. First of all, Hassan Piker has been included on the official White House government website page for left-wing lunacy. It cites him as lamenting Trump being alive and remarking that it would be pretty funny if you... Here, I'll read you what they say. Examples of degenerate fake news figureheads... spewing such disgusting rhetoric. Jimmy Kimmel stating just days before Saturday's assassination attempt that First Lady Melania Trump had a glow like an expectant widow. First of all, bro, he said that they recorded that before, I believe, that even happened, right? And the joke there is Melania hates Trump, because Melania does hate Trump. Everybody knows that. Stephen Colbert claiming Donald Trump is a fascist. That's just basic reality. Rachel Maddow calling President Trump an authoritarian leader and attempting an overthrow of the U.S. government. Again, this is basic fucking reality shit. James Carville. I love how they lumped James Carville and Hassan Piker together. James Carville is suggesting President Trump would institute a fascist regime. Again, factual. Hassan Piker, they spelled Hassan wrong. They put 2 S's.
That's got to be intentional.
President Trump is alive and remarking that it would be pretty funny if he died. It'd be funny if he died before Biden was the full quote. Joe Scarborough, they put a Republican in the left-wing lunacy page, bro. Joe Scarborough claiming that President Trump has gone full-on Hitler. Jonathan Chait stating that President Trump...
I'm also jealous that I'm not on this fucking list, bro. I wish I was on that fucking list. And, you know, if I play my cards right, I'll end up on the fucking list. You never know. You never know. All right. This is what 33,615 drones all operating at the same time looks like. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is going to be awful. I'm going to mute that so that I don't get copyrighted by whatever that is. This has to be China, right? Yep, China. That's so fucked. It's so cool. It is really cool. I just wish that the drones were only capable of doing light shows. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I wish and I wish and I wish. All right, I have that clipped up. CPI hits. Yep, I have that. I'll just get this ready. There we go. Erdogan, Israel strikes in Lebanon, Syria threatened Turkey, and Bibi gives his typical response. I have Bibi's response, but I did not get Recep Tayyip Erdogan's quote. So we'll keep that there. I'm not paying the Financial Times. They can blow me. I'm not going to be paying the Financial Times. Is Cena here? Hi, Cena. Oh, Lordy. Oh, Lordy. Fewer Americans say democracy is essential to the country's identity. Oh, my God. Percent who say democratically elected government is blank important to the United States. So extremely important to the United States. Only 66% of adults. So who says it's not too important? It's like primarily 18 to 29-year-olds are the ones who answer that. I want to know this by political party. I want to know this by political party. Oh my God, Republicans still believe that this is a meritocracy. That's so embarrassing. That's so fucking embarrassing. I'll keep that. I'll keep that included. Okay. Good work, OAL Media. Good work, OAL Media. Oh my God, you guys started your own Patreon? Hell fucking yeah. Hell fucking yeah. Skip for now. Wow, I didn't know you guys did this. I'm so proud of you guys. Fuck yeah. That's sick. Proud of you. Proud of you. Pay us, I'll pay yous. Don't worry. I ain't gonna pay yous yet, but I am. All right, looks like we got plenty to work with. So this is gonna be... All right, so yeah, the second video is going to be There Is No War in Lebanon, and it's going to be talking about Erdogan. Where's the Erdogan thing? Yeah, it's going to start with that. Netanyahu, Netanyahu, Netanyahu. Trump truth, CPI inflation, Trump, Trump.
Thank you
Trump.
so much, Mr. Chair.
Trump, Trump. More Trump. Trump. Iranian response. All right, we got plenty. All right, y'all ready? Y'all ready? Valenti, people can edit this to make it look like you have an inflation kink. Oh, I'd love that. I'd love that. All right, y'all ready? Are ready to kirk in? Listos? Here we go, here we go, here we go. I love inflation. That's not me saying that. That's the President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump. He just did some sort of like press briefing or whatnot in the Oval Office where he admits two things. One, he loves inflation. And two, the United States of America has been secretly stealing millions of barrels of oil from Iran. So no peace, right? No peace. And don't worry, there literally is no peace. Trump says that. He goes, we're back. War's back on. We hit them hard yesterday and we're going to hit them hard again today. It's absolutely diabolical. I never want to hear another Republican speak again. We have now reached the point where, and I do mean this seriously. I know for some reason people think I'm being facetious, where now every single registered Republican is an inferior subhuman. You no longer have to treat them with respect. You no longer have to debate them. You can ad hom them. You can bully them. You can harass them. You can insult them. You can degrade them because they have proven that they are detrimental to America. You now have the President of the United States saying that he loves inflation, and every single Republican must fall in line behind the Fuhrer, lest they be labeled as a Republican in name only. So now, the other day we were saying this, every single registered Republican in the United States of America is a pedophile. That is an irrefutable fact. Now, the reason being is if you support pedophilia, that makes you a pedophile. And every single registered Republican in the United States of America is blindly loyal to the pedophile Fuhrer known as Donald Trump, which makes, by proxy, all registered Republicans are pedophiles. Well, now they're not just pedophiles, they are pro the demise of America. So, let's sum it up. All registered Republicans in the United States of America are pedophiles who want the country to collapse. That is an irrefutable fact. Okay, that is where we're at. But again, don't need to take it from me. Let's take it from the Fuhrer.
The right people come into our country.
Are you going to go to any games?
I will.
I will.
Are you concerned, Mr. President, about the latest inflation number which came out this morning? Could that be a
No, I
headwind
love it.
for
The numbers
Republicans
look
to
great.
try and hold
You know what I
the
really
House
love?
and Senate?
I love the inflation.
You know what I really love? I love the inflation. Put that on every single Democrat candidate's advertisement for the rest of time. Play that shit again.
Could that be a
No, I
headwind
love it.
for
The
Republicans
numbers look
to
great.
try and hold
You know what I
the
really
House and
love?
Senate?
I love the inflation. You know why? Because as soon as this war is over, I can say it now. something you didn't know. Do you know we've been taking out millions of barrels of oil? Nobody knows it. You know who doesn't know about it? Iran, until right now. We took out the other night 22 ships, late at night with no lights, because they don't have any radar, because we blasted the crap out of it. We took out, that's why oil's $85 a barrel. I mean, you take a look.
Oil is
Remember
not
when
$85 a barrel, you lying
I
pedophile.
did this, I said, look, the one bad thing will be, we hit the best economy we've ever hit. And I said to my people, I had Scott, I had Howard, I had Pete, I had all of them. I had Todd in the room. I said, the one thing we have to do now, we had just hit the highest stock market in history, highest 401ks in history. Everything was going well. And I said, I hate to do this to you guys, but Iran's going to have a nuclear weapon very soon. We have to go and attack. So we hit them with the B-2 bombers.
Brother, we just heard the President of the United States be asked if he's concerned about rising inflation, and he said, I actually love inflation. And get this, we've been secretly stealing millions of barrels of oil from Iran in the dead of night with no lights on our ships, just stealing their oil and leaving the Strait of Hormuz. Do you know how fucking deranged you have to be to say that shit out loud? This is the type of shit I expect the United States to do, but like in the cover of darkness. Not to come out and say, and this is because he knows he's a dictator. He knows he's a Führer. He knows he'll never have to face the consequences for his actions. Absolutely fucking insane. Now let's get a look at some of his Truth Social posts. So this is in regards to his stealing of the oil. Last month, I directed our great U.S. military to execute a secret mission to support oil tankers and other commercial ships through the Strait of Hormuz. Today, I am pleased to announce that this effort has resulted in more than 100 million barrels of oil making its way through the strait and into the open market. More than 200 commercial ships have safely traveled through the strait. This wildly successful effort is because the United States of America controls the Strait of Hormuz, not Iran. Their military is defeated, their economy is lost. It's over for Iran. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. All right, so I'm going to say it. Nobody else is going to say it, but I'll say it confidently. Bullshit. I bet he's lying. I bet we haven't gotten a single fucking barrel of oil through. I think that because he was incapable of manipulating the market after, like, usually on Friday, he's like, we're going to have peace, because he wants to manipulate the market into, like showing good numbers. But he couldn't do that because Bibi Netanyahu said, go fuck yourself. We're going to keep on bombing Lebanon and we're going to bomb Iran. I think that this is his way of trying to control the markets and manipulate the markets after the fact. You know, now that it's fucking Wednesday and he's getting absolutely bodied. I don't believe it. But we got more. Here's what else he posted. The fake news media refuses to report how effective the U.S. naval blockade is, the most successful blockade in the history of naval warfare. Nothing gets through unless we want it to. It is a steel wall. Iran is doing zero business not paying their military or any of their bills and becoming quickly a failed nation. Lots of oil is getting out. Praise be to Allah, President Donald J. Trump. So this whole thing about it becoming a failed nation, this is exactly what Israel has said that they've wanted the entire time, that the war does not end until Iran becomes a failed state, much like Libya, where they have open slave markets. That is the goal, and this is why the war will continue, and probably until the point where Donald is forced to use nuclear weapons because there was no possible way to win the Iran war, and he is so fucking arrogant that he would think that nuking them could help them, help get them to submit. Not gonna fucking work, and we have an absolute madman pedophile with dementia and early Alzheimer's in charge of the world's largest nuclear arsenal. Also tweeting out, praise be to Allah for the second time. Ain't that something? More. Iran's military is a complete and total mess. Much of it, like their Navy and Air Force, doesn't even exist anymore. They have been completely defeated. Iran is all talk and no action. The bully of the Middle East is dead. They've taken too long to negotiate a deal that would have been great for them. Now they will have to pay the price. President Donald J. Trump. So, the art of the deal was bullshit. Donald didn't even write that book. Donald is notoriously the worst negotiator in American history, and he has just said confidently the deal is off the table and now they have to pay the price. So good luck, GI. Have fun dying in Tehran. No love lost over here, brother. If I had my fucking way, you'd be at home with your wife instead of your neighbor fucking your wife while you're sitting in the Strait of Hormuz waiting to get murked. On the good side, at least your wife gets to come. You don't get to come home, but your wife gets to come. More. Refresh already. Come on. Luigi, don't freak out. I know I hear somebody in the hallway. So then Trump tweets this out, thinking it's a flex. U.S. trade deficit widens by the most in nearly 34 years. This guy is so fucking stupid that he thinks this is good. Brother, you've destroyed the U.S. economy. You've destroyed it so badly that you are backed in a corner and have to pretend like the worst news ever is good. Oh, I love inflation. Oh, I'm so happy that the trade deficit has widened more than it has in the past 34 years. It's all good things. I'm playing 15D chess and you're not even playing checkers. As Kyle Kalinske said, no, you're not playing chess or checkers. You're playing with your shit in the corner of the room, rolling around in it like the fat little fucking piglet you are, Donald. You are a disgrace to all Americans everywhere. I cannot fucking wait until you are no longer breathing our air and we can strip this country of everything you've ever built. Your name, your fucking family, every last dollar you have ever accrued. The Trump family. Hey, Kai Trump, I hope you're watching this, you dumb cunt. We're draining your fucking bank account too. I don't give a fuck if you've even committed a crime. You are a Trump. Therefore, you are fucking guilty. Straight to the gulag, bitch. I don't care. Destroy the Trump crime family, throw every last one of them in fucking prison, exterminate their name from the American history, remove it everywhere, and pretend this motherfucker never existed. All right, so this is what he's talking about. Consumer prices rose 4.2% annually in May, the highest in 3 fucking years. The consumer price index rose at seasonally adjusted 0.5% per month, putting the annual inflation rate at 4.2%. This is now, I believe, worse inflation than it was under Joe Biden, bro. Now, we've got some more clips of Trump during his fucking insane meeting here, and I promise you, none of them are good.
That's where Martin Luther King made his great speech. And they say he had 1 million people. And I made a speech there for July 4th a few years ago. And they said, and I was packed. And they said, I had 25,000 people. They said he had 1 million. But when you look at the picture.
They're laughing because they're uncomfortable and they know, oh my God, he's about to claim he had a larger speech than Martin Luther King Jr.
Wait, the people were even tighter at mine. I had more people than him, but they said I had 25,000 and he had 1 million.
You think you had more people than Martin Luther King Jr.? You had 25,000, he had 1 million, bro. You're not even fucking close, not even 1/10 of the way there.
But I'm not going to argue with Martin Luther King because I like that. But the Secure America Act provides...
More. Oh, so this isn't from his meeting. So while Trump is having his fucking meeting, Chris Wright is testifying, I believe, in front of the House, and one of the people, she must have had her phone. So she starts asking this motherfucker, Chris Wright, about whether or not he agrees with Donald Trump and the things that he just said.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. Thank you to the witness for being here. I will say your expertise is energy, and I would hope that you would not invoke the words of Dr. Martin Luther King without adequate context, because quite frankly, that is not your expertise. But since you want to talk about people unqualified in meritocracies, let's talk about President Trump. Do you feel like your positions and policy statements are in line with President Trump?
Yes, I hope so.
Do you love inflation?
Yes, I hope so.
Do you love inflation?
I love ending Iran's ability to have a nuclear weapon.
Not the question, Chief!
I think
Do
that's
you love,
existential
thank you.
for
That
our
was
future.
not my question. Do you love inflation, yes or no?
I love ending Iran's.
That is not my question. Do you love
nuclear
inflation?
weapon?
Yes or no?
No, I would prefer lower inflation.
You would prefer low inflation. Do you know that your boss, essentially President Trump, just stated that he loved inflation?
He's an entertaining, hyperbolic guy.
He's an entertaining guy, man. He's an entertaining guy.
Stated that he loved inflation.
He's an entertaining, hyperbolic guy who's done tremendous leadership and on balance is driving inflation
So it sounds
down.
like you were unaware that President Trump just mentioned that he loved inflation, and I certainly don't want to get you in trouble with your boss, but it sounds like you don't love inflation, but he does. But
Oh yeah, no, and she's right. He's going to be in trouble because, like I've said before, we all know it is a cult. If you support Donald Trump, you are in a cult. If you dissent from the Fuhrer in the slightest bit, you will be excommunicated. The fact that Chris Wright just said that he doesn't love inflation, the same hour that Trump says he does love inflation, Chris Wright's gonna get fired. Mark my fucking words, and I'm gonna laugh when it happens. All right, but more. Now we've got some more clips of oh my god. She fucking asked him about the barrels of oil. Oh my god, just you fucking wait. Poor Chris Wright, dude. You are so fucked. You are so
let me ask
fucked.
you this other question. Are you aware that the United States was taking millions of barrels of gasoline from Iran in the Strait of Hormuz?
Allegedly.
We are preventing the flow of Iranian oil through the Straits
That
of
is not the
Hormuz.
question that I just asked you. Were you aware that the United States has been taking millions of gallons of oil?
Millions of
From the Strait of
barrels,
Hormuz.
sweetheart. Millions of barrels of oil. Not millions of gallons of gasoline. It would be hundreds of millions of gallons of gasoline. That's what it would be.
Just not sure taking's the right word. We're preventing
Absolutely.
the flow of it.
Well, thank you.
So he's unaware. And I don't blame him. He's sitting there. He doesn't have his phone on him. He's not watching. But like, yeah, no, dude, you're fucked. Donald Trump just admitted that.
Mr. Chair, if I may, can I play some audio from some comments that President Trump made in the Oval Office? Okay.
Oh my God, she's going to hold up her phone to the microphone. Brother, what the fuck is happening in America? Oh my God.
The numbers were great.
I don't think
you know what I really
we've heard this
I love the inflation. You know why? Because as soon as this war is over, you know, I can say it now. Something you didn't know. Do you know we've been taking out
Let's suspend
millions
that,
of barrels
please.
of oil? Nobody knows it. You know who doesn't know about it? Iran until right now.
Mr. Secretary, it seems like you didn't know about this either. So why would the United States be taking out millions of barrels of oil from Iran?
Well, it's essential that we prevent oil sales from generating revenue for Iran.
Then why did you lift Iranian oil sanctions, helping them profit $25 billion overnight? Why did you do that?
To develop nuclear weapons and oppress their
Mr.
people.
Secretary, I understand this might be an uncomfortable line of questioning and you don't want to do it, but you are not answering my question. So I'm going to ask you again, and I'm going to hope that you will answer it honestly. Did you know that the United States was taking millions of gallons of oil from Iran?
I'm unaware.
Oh my God. What do you guys think? You guys think he was actually unaware? Or do you think he's lying? Because I actually think he was completely unaware. But if I'm being honest, I don't believe this happened. I genuinely don't believe that this happened.
Do you think that the president is lying based on the audio that you just heard? And I will send it to you in case you say you didn't hear it.
Oh, no, I do not think the president's lying. I think the president's talking casually about our efforts to stop the flow of
Do you
Iranian
think
oil.
that
And
war
we're
is
stopping those
casual?
tankers
Do you
from
think
flooding.
that it is appropriate to talk casually about war?
I think you talk to all different audiences and you talk in all different styles. But I don't have any serious objection to what he said.
You don't have any serious objection for someone talking about war casually? Do you have that objection? There are 13 service people who are dead. There are hundreds more that are injured, but we should be talking about war casually.
He treats this war deadly serious. And
Oh, is that why he attacked the Iranian water supplies this morning? Is that why he's bombing bridges and electrical grids? Is that why he's committing blatant fucking war crimes? Because, like, I don't know if you guys know this. We bombed Iranian water supplies this morning. We carpet bombed Iran. But I'm sure the Republicans are still going to say we're days away from a deal, right?
He has worked tirelessly on this war,
Mr.
monitoring
Secretary,
it,
you
caring
just said
about
that
it.
he was speaking casually about this. It
He
is in
speaks
context
20
of
hours
war.
a day. He
But
speaks
is
20
the
hours
pre-
a day
but
in
he is
different styles
also-
for different audiences.
He is the President of the United States of America. He is the Commander-in-Chief who is responsible for 13 service members who have died and hundreds more who are injured. So you mean to say to me, testifying in front of this committee in the United States House of Representatives, that it is appropriate for the Commander-in-Chief to talk
Commander-in-Chief.
about war casually?
He speaks candidly, openly, and honestly. I think all of America benefits from that.
Oh, yeah, we all benefit from Donald Trump bombing desalination plants in Iran and murdering 165 little schoolgirls. Yeah, no, I'm definitely profiting from the rising price of gasoline. I'm definitely profiting from the $110 it costs to fill up my fucking car.
I appreciate your attempt to protect your boss and to keep your job, but let me be very clear with you. It is not appropriate to talk about war casually.
Unfucking believable. Now we got some more clips of Trump in his Oval Office meeting.
When I was president,
Oh, yeah, this is... Dude, he is still going off about the 2020 election.
when I was president. So now they made it so that I wouldn't be president. And because they rigged the election, the second election, as you probably hear and probably know, most of you know that happened, and now it's been proven.
It has never once been proven. In fact, you were laughed out of the courts over 30 times, you morbidly obese pedophile fascist.
And it will be proven as time goes by even more so. We have things that you won't believe. When we release the full files,
When we release the full files? Brother, there's only one batch of files the American people fucking care about, and it is not that. It is the Epstein files, the ones that have videos of you raping children because you are a cannibalistic child rapist, sex trafficking, pedophile, warmongering, fat-bodied fascist, failure of a father, failure of a brother to a dead older brother, failure of a son to your abusive fucking parents. You literally come from a bloodline of shit. Your fucking fat wrists have veins that are flowing diarrhea through them. You disgusting, repugnant rapist. That is what you are. You fuck, you fuck, you fuck.
you're not going to believe how crooked the 2020 election was. But
Oh my God, dude. More.
This morning about Iran, you said that they've taken too long to get to a deal. I want to make sure I quote you correctly. You said that now they will have to pay the price.
Yeah.
What did you mean by that specifically?
well, we're going to be attacking them and attacking them very hard.
Resuming bombs.
Well, we're gonna be attacking them and attacking them very hard. You literally commit war crimes every single day. That's what we did this morning. We bombed their bridges, we bombed their electrical grids, we bombed their desalination plants. You are trying to murder the civilians, you fuck.
Yeah, well, we are. Based on the helicopter, I guess we have the right to do that. You know,
Based on the helicopter, I guess we have the right to do that. And you wonder why I said I think Mossad shot down that helicopter. You guys know that the IRGC came out and they said they didn't shoot down that helo? Why is it that the IRGC is taking credit for firing drones at Beirut, or sorry, not at Beirut, Bahrain, and firing missiles at Israel and firing at American warships, but then they go, oh no, but we didn't shoot down that helo. And then that one downed helo gives you the consent to start bombing Iran? How fucking convenient. I'll say it proudly, I'll say it loudly. The United States of America, in conjunction with the nation of Israel, shot down our own American Apache in order to manufacture consent for last night and this morning's bombing raid on Iran. The United States government is lying to you. There are more than 13 dead U.S. soldiers. We have lost this war. That's the facts.
shot down a very incredible, actually an incredible machine. And at first they said they didn't do it, then they admitted they did it. So
They have not admitted that they did it.
easy because we have the bomb. We actually have the bomb. Got very lucky that bomb didn't explode. That bomb was lodged in the helicopter. It didn't explode. It was on fire, but it didn't explode.
You want me to believe that an Iranian Shahed drone very conveniently hit an Apache helicopter in the nose didn't explode, wedged itself in the fucking helo, and then we what? Crashed the helo into the water and got out, and now we happen to have the drone? How suspiciously Israeli of that drone? How suspiciously Zionist of that drone to have hit its target but miraculously not exploded? How Israeli? Fucking bullshit. The IRGC has said that the targeting of the U.S. naval base in Bahrain was in response to recent U.S. strikes that they have said damaged water tanks in Sirik province, Iran. So we bombed the fucking water supplies, and in response, the IRGC started targeting a U.S. naval base in Bahrain. In response to the enemy's malicious move, the combatants of the IRGC Navy attacked the 5th Naval Fleet of Bahrain with drones at 2:30 a.m. As you should. As you fucking should. All right, now the last thing I want to talk about has nothing to do with the Iran war, but it is a little bit of a change of pace because it is important news. We have some key takeaways from the primaries in Maine, South Carolina, and Nevada. Unless you've been sleeping under a rock, Graham Plattner easily secured his Maine's Democratic nomination for a key U.S. Senate seat. And in South Carolina, Republican Nancy Mace's career was derailed. Nancy didn't even get fucking close. She came in 5th place, dude. She got fucking bodied. Meanwhile, I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with it. She was having a mental breakdown all over Twitter. I mean, literally posting AI-generated videos of her with Donald Trump and him endorsing her because he didn't endorse her. Now, the only reason he didn't endorse Nancy Mace is because Nancy Mace wanted the release of the Epstein files. Like I've said before, if you dissent from the Fuhrer even the slightest little bit, you are kicked out of the fucking room, kicked out of the club. Graham Plattner won the Maine Democratic primary for Senate after weathering allegations about his past, formally setting up the November bout for a seat that could be pivotal in determining which party controls the Senate. So, here's what we have here. Graham Plattner got 71.6% of the vote for the Democratic primary, putting him against Susan Collins. We'll see how that ends up going. This one doesn't matter as much. Where's the other one? Nancy Mace. Mace fought for the South Carolina governorship and her political future on Tuesday, all without the president's endorsements. Instead, Trump backed the state's lieutenant governor, Pamela Evette, in the Republican primary. Mace did not even come close, sitting in 5th place with 80% of the vote counted. Look at this. She's not even on that. She's not even on that. She's included in other candidates. That's how much she got fucking shitted on, bro. And then Jermaine Johnson moving forward with the Democrat primary for governor. Now, I have some horrible news for you. Lindsey Graham easily advanced in November. Senator Lindsey Graham, a Republican who has depended on Trump to prevent a slide in his political standing, looked to avoid a runoff in the primary for his Senate seat. So Lindsey Graham got over 50% of the vote for the Republicans, and then for the Democrats, we have Annie Andrews. This should say a lot, okay? This should say a lot in the sense that, how do you even put this? Anybody and everybody who voted for Lindsey Graham deserves to have their human rights violated. That's, yeah, right? Is that cool? Violate their human rights. That's where we're at. And then we've got some other stuff here, but the only ones that really mattered were Graham Plattner and Nancy Mace and Lindsey Graham. So overall, we're looking at some good stuff for progressive candidates. Now, here's the thing. I've talked about this before. I'll talk about it again, but I'll make it short. Never interrupt your enemy when they're making a mistake, and I also refuse to do any favors to Israel and to the Republicans. Now, the Republicans and Israel are going on a hard fucking tirade, a smear campaign to try and ruin Graham Plattner's career, ruin his reputation, get people to not vote for him. And I've said this before, I'll say it again. I don't like Graham Plattner, but I'm not going to help the fucking Republicans in Israel defeat him. I don't like him because he was a fucking Blackwater mercenary and he did 4 tours in Afghanistan, okay? I don't give a shit about his sexual past. I don't give a fuck about him drawing penises in a porta potty. I don't give a fuck about him doing, sexting women. I don't care about that shit. Breaking news, man has boner? Like, who gives a fuck? What I care about is that I think he is a wolf in sheep's clothing. That's genuinely what I believe. You're all entitled to your own opinion. But again, I'm not going to harp on this because I refuse to do the Republicans in Israel any fucking favors. All right, moving on, I want to show you some horrifying, and I do mean genuinely horrifying shit. So if you go to whitehouse.gov, you click the menu, and you go to media, and then you click media offenders, right? So this is where you get this page of, it's straight up just a list of dissidents of the Fuhrer. So like it says here, outlet CNN, reporter Jonathan Reiner claims CNN lies about President Trump's health. Category, conspiracy theory and left-wing lunacy. And it has, you know, offenders hall of shame. I'm sure if I put in, what, Hassan Piker, is that going to show up? Probably not. Repeat offenders. Regardless, here's the part that's absolutely horrifying. It has a list of all these different people. Hassan Piker is on there, and I think Tucker Carlson and whatever. But on the right side, do you see that? Submit a tip. Click that, and you can put in your email address. You can put in the media outlet that has been a dissident of the Fuhrer, and a link to the article so that they can put him on, put whatever journalist, whatever organization on this left-wing lunacy list. So essentially the federal government, not only are they creating a list of dissidents of the Fuhrer, but now good little goyim and good little loyalists to the federal government can report whoever they want. Isn't that fun? And people still think voting is going to save us. There's a box that will save us. It's not the ballot box. That's all I'll say on that. All right, now the very last thing I want to show you, unless, is this it? Oh no, two last things I want to show you. So, fewer Americans say democracy is central to the country's identity. This is because we live in hell. But if you could guess which political party still believes in meritocracy and all this shit, I'm pretty sure you'll know that it's the Republican Party. So the percent of Americans who say democratically elected government is blank important to the United States' identity. So among U.S. adults, only 66% of Americans say that democracy is extremely important to the United States of America. And what we have the most here for the people who say that it's not important at all, 21% of Americans between the ages of 18 and 29% believe that democracy is not important to the United States' identity. Now, I can guarantee you of this 21%, they are all Republicans and they are probably groypers. These are probably Nazis, okay? Thank you for the $20. I appreciate that. Now, you go even further and they split it up. So here's a new question. Percent of Americans who say the ability of people living here to get good jobs and achieve the American dream is blank. So 71% of Americans believe that the American dream is important to the United States' identity. And then the largest number here we have is 12% of Americans between the ages of 18 and 29% believe that it is not important at all. This is the one that I think is most important because this is about meritocracy. As you know, meritocracy does not exist in the United States of America. Meritocracy means that the harder you work, the better off you are. Donald Trump has never worked a day in his life, and he is one of the wealthiest men in the country. Elon Musk has never worked a day in his life, and he is a trillionaire. Then you have like a Guatemalan migrant working back-breaking labor, sweating all fucking day, calloused hands, doing more work than I've done in my entire life, and they're making literal pennies on the dollar. So, again, irrefutable fact. You cannot have an opinion on this. It is a fact. Meritocracy does not exist in the United States of America. Yet, Republicans, 57% of Republicans believe that if you work hard, you'll get ahead. It doesn't exist. 57% believe it still holds true. And then 6% of Republicans believe that it had never held true. The way that they say, they call it the American dream because you got to be asleep in order to believe it's real. Fucking lunatic shit. If you believe that democracy is not integral to the United States of America, you are a traitor and you deserve to have your tongue cut out and being sent to a fucking gulag. All right, now the last thing I want to show you before we make our second video of the day is this. Bari Weiss, the dirty cunt. She is set to take over CNN after Paramount and Warner Bros. Merger is complete. Bari Weiss currently leads CBS and is expected to serve as lead for both media organizations in the future. So this now means CNN, owned by a right-wing billionaire, CBS, owned by a right-wing billionaire, Fox, owned by a right-wing billionaire, Washington Post, owned by a right-wing billionaire, Wall Street Journal, owned by a right-wing billionaire. This is why you're here, by the way. Independent media is all that is left. All mainstream media is state-controlled media controlled by the fascist dogmen who call themselves Republicans. Again, irrefutable fact. And now you have this demon cunt known as Barry Weiss who has destroyed 60 Minutes and is genuinely, you're not going to believe this, proposing making Joe Rogan one of the 60 Minutes interviewers. Joseph Robinette Rogan, that's not his middle name, but Joseph fucking Brogan, the actual chimp in chief, the literal living gorilla, the human gorilla. They want him to be a 60 Minutes journalist, a 60 Minutes reporter. Barry Weiss has destroyed any and all semblance of free press in the United States of America. It's dead and gone. The only free press that you're gonna get left are people like me, but then people like me get fucking nuked off YouTube for having a Call of Duty ray gun in the background, which is no longer there because I was pulled down for violating YouTube's firearm policy. And the President of the United States is gathering a list of left-wing lunatics where you can submit a tip to report them for being dissidents of the Fuhrer. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I wish I had a way to kind of numb the pain right now, but all I can tell you is to embrace the suck. As my Vietnam veteran father used to fucking tell me, embrace the suck. Dig deep, bitch. I know you're tired of this, but I'm gonna be your grandpa real quick. That's too damn bad! It is too damn bad. You wanna fucking survive? You have to fight. These motherfuckers are not gonna lay over and let us stomp all over them. No, they expect us to be doormats, but I ain't gonna fucking have it, and neither the fuck are you. You need to lock the fuck in and understand that there is a war coming, and I don't mean that facetiously. There is a genuine fucking war coming. They are preparing. Are you? Hi, I'm Chris Valenti. Welcome to the Valenti VOD. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It costs you nothing. It helps me immensely. If you're here live, you stay. We have another video to make. If you're watching this pre-recorded, don't forget to, I just said that. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Click the thanks button down below to tip me directly. Click the join button down below to become a member of the channel. Become a patron on Patreon by donating $1, $5, $10, whatever you want to donate. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The next video is going to be about Netanyahu saying, "We are not at war with the Lebanese people." Essentially saying there is no war in Ba Sing Se. So click that video right over there. When it pops up, it'll be the next video. Have a good one. Gas, fire, fire, and gas. Gas, fire, fire, and gas. Right? You dig? You dig? You dig? You dig? All right, so that's our first video for the day. Done. Over and done with. Over and done with. We'll do the uploading stuff afterwards, I think. Excuse me. I think I'll film both. And then we'll get the rest uploaded. The audio of the videos you were playing are way too fucking low, dude. That's, unfortunately, I'm not trying to be rude to you, bro. You're wrong. I have the meter right here. I watch the audio levels. You're fucking wrong. Now, some people like Donald stay this far away from the microphone and talk to it like this, and it's a little bit harder to hear it. And then some people get close. That's just the way it goes. You're fucking wrong, dude. You're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. Coat mauled seed, you're fucking wrong. Chris, why are Thomas Massey and Rokon are the only ones with spines? I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. Hey, I'm a fan, but it's not quite true to say Musk has never worked. No, it is. Elon Musk has never worked a single day in his life. He has gotten workers to do things for him. Elon Musk has never invented anything. He's never started any companies. Elon Musk has done nothing. Ever, his entire life. He has exploited workers, that's for sure, but no, Elon Musk has never worked a single day in his entire miserable fucking existence. Again, irrefutable fact, you do not get an opinion on this. If you disagree with me, you're wrong and stupid. And probably gay. I'm just kidding. His family owns emerald mines in Africa. Yeah, they exploit workers. He's never worked a day in his life. All right, you guys ready to dive into the second video? You guys ready to dive into the second video? Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. There is no war in Ba Sing Se. This is a message from Benjamin Netanyahu.
I have a message for you, the people of Lebanon. Israel is not at war with you. We're at war with Hezbollah, that has taken your country hostage, that does Iran's bidding, that uses your territory to launch terrorist attacks against Israel. Do you remember what Lebanon was like before Iran and Hezbollah turned it into a nightmare? Remember the cafes? Remember?
Oh, it's not us who are, it's not the bombs I'm dropping on you and murdering you. It's Hezbollah, the ones fighting against me. They're the ones who are ruining your life.
The culture, remember the calm. All that's gone because Hezbollah and Iran want to drag us into war over and over and over again. You deserve better. Your children deserve better. You know by now that Israel will do whatever it takes to protect our families, our communities.
Yeah, including slaughtering every last Lebanese person because you're committing a genocide in Lebanon now the same way you committed a genocide in Gaza. You repugnant, disgusting, living fucking demon. You got horns underneath that hair?
Hezbollah is weaker than ever. Israel is stronger than ever.
Then why is Hezbollah and Iran successfully bombing the ever-loving fuck out of your dog shit inferior nation consisting of fucking Zionist rats?
We've taken out nearly 10,000 Hezbollah terrorists so far.
Oh, by that do you mean children? Because I guarantee you have not taken out 10,000 Hezbollah terrorists. I guarantee you've killed about 10,000 civilians.
We're systematically clearing out South Lebanon of these fanatics.
You're not just clearing South Lebanon of the fanatics, you have displaced over 1 million Lebanese people from southern Lebanon, and you now consider it part of Israel.
No matter where they are, we'll find them. You also know we yearn for peace with you, with Lebanon.
No, you don't. You want to create the Greater Israel Project and stamp out the flame of every last living Arab soul.
A peace where our two peoples can invest together, build together, thrive together. The only impediment, the only obstacle,
is the fact that you're not Zionist.
To this beautiful vision is Hezbollah. They want war, not peace. They want death, not life. They will sacrifice as many of you as possible to achieve their sick aims.
Every accusation is a confession. Literally everything that he just fucking said is the Israeli belief. I'm gonna play this again, and instead of him saying Hezbollah, think Israel, it's all true.
The only impediment, the only obstacle to this beautiful vision is Hezbollah.
Is Israel.
They want war, not peace. They want death, not life. They will sacrifice as many of you as possible to achieve their sick aims.
You're right. Israel will do all of those things. You are correct, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. I'm glad you're admitting that you lead a terror rape state.
Don't let your future be dictated by medieval theocrats.
Like you?
Hell-bent on destroying our common civilization.
You are literally a fucking theocrat.
Israel wants peace with you.
No, you don't.
Seize your future. Join Israel. Build safety and prosperity.
Join Israel? Oh my God, you're calling upon the Lebanese people to become traitors and to side with the great Satan of planet Earth, Israel? Fuck you.
For all of our children. And once Hezbollah is dismantled, the possibilities are endless and they are sky high.
Jesus fucking Christ, there is no war in Lebanon. There is no war in Ba Sing Se. All right, and also Israel is going to begin their war with Turkey soon. So this is what Benjamin Netanyahu posted in response to Recep Tayyip Erdogan, the dictator of Turkey. So Erdogan said that Israeli aggression poses a threat to the whole world and must be stopped. I believe they have the exact quote here. This is what he said. The attacks by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his network of murder on Lebanon and Syria have brought the issue to a point where it also threatens Turkey. Friendly reminder, Turkey is in NATO. Erdogan told lawmakers from his ruling AK party in parliament and added that Ankara's security was tied to that of the two countries. Erdogan also said Israel was leading a, quote, sneaky effort to destabilize African countries in the Mediterranean by igniting the fire of discord. Oh, you mean like when Israel funded the Tutsis while they committed a genocide in Rwanda? These small entities, whose ambitions far exceed their size, have broadened Israel's boat of mischief, taken on by the role of Zionist subcontractors, and are pursuing some pipe dreams in the Eastern Mediterranean. Nobody should chase adventures. I want everyone to know that if the rights of Turkey and Turkish Cypriots are violated in the Eastern Mediterranean, our response will be very clear and very strong. So, here is what Netanyahu had to say to Erdogan.
The anti-Semitic dictator, Erdogan, who is committing a genocide against the Kurds.
You calling anybody out for committing a genocide is going to give me a fucking aneurysm. In my lifetime, I pray that I get to see Israel turn into dust and I get to take a literal fucking shit on Benjamin Netanyahu's grave. Mark my fucking words, unless they have 24 hours, 7 days a week, never-ending guards on Netanyahu's grave, I will shit on his fucking grave.
The anti-Semitic dictator, Erdogan, who is committing genocide against the Kurds, supports the Hamas terrorist organization, oppresses his own people, and imprisons political rivals, is the last person who can lecture the state of Israel on morality. The State of Israel and the IDF, the most moral army in the world, will continue to take forceful action against Iran and its proxies, which threaten the Middle East and the entire world.
I'd like to read you my response to this. So I posted this. I said, your repugnant rape state is mass murdering the Lebanese people because you don't consider anyone other than Jewish Zionists to be human beings. In my lifetime, I will see your nation turn to fucking dust and I will piss on your grave. Last thing I want to show you is this too. Stephen Miller had a new child and I just asked a pretty honest question, which is, did you teach it to Sig Heil yet? Hideous fucking baby, might I ask. But that's a beautiful one. So, very, very short video I got for you today, but Bibi Netanyahu is threatening to start open war with NATO. Bibi Netanyahu is threatening to start open war with NATO. And this comes as Donald Trump is trying to pull the United States out of NATO. And the bill has officially passed, the new NDAA with Section 224. The Israeli military and the American military are now merged. We are one military. If Israel is attacked, the United States of America is contractually obligated to defend them, and vice versa. Granted, the IDF will never send its soldiers to defend America. If we were attacked, Israel will not join in the fight. That's a 100% guarantee, irrefutable fact. You are not allowed to disagree with me. If you do disagree with me, you are wrong and stupid. Yeah, we're fucked. We're fucked. And at the same time, Bibi Netanyahu is saying that he is not waging a war in Lebanon and he is not murdering the Lebanese people. Incredible. Everything's fucked. Nothing is good. Thank you for tuning into this episode of the Valenti VOD. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And always remember, Israel is an inferior terror state, a rape state, and it deserves to be destroyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and click that video right over there. It's a banger, and I know bangers. Alrighty. Banger, bangers. Bangers across the board. Bangers across the board. Fox News attacked Kyle? No way.
All right, y'all. So the other day, we talked about how
Sorry, that was
Fox
so
News
loud.
came after yours truly. Was it on the 5? I think it was on the 5. Out on Kyle and Corin. They super chatted on Kyle and Corin, and they said, hey, man, Will Cain came after you on Fox News, but I posted it on the Kyle Klinsky Reddit, so go watch it over there and respond to it. Well, here we go. We're going to do exactly that. Let's listen.
Not enough to be considered believable by the left. You're seeing the response from liberal commentators like Crystal Ball on X.
Still at this late date, they don't understand the difference between a leftist and a liberal. They're so out of touch. They're so not plugged in. They're so mentally in a previous generation that they just, they call Crystal a liberal, and they call me a liberal. Let's keep going.
The New York Times published uncorroborated accusations against Graham Plattner of unsettling and toxic behavior that came from a Heritage staffer who previously worked for a conservative organization that backs Collins. Progressive commentator Kyle.
By the way, what?
How are you not going to mention the fact that they're husband and wife?
She's spitting, bro. You can't just read it and leave it as is. Like, everybody's going to go, yeah, that seems about right. Like, what is this? All right, let's keep going.
Zelensky said, the New York Times is basically campaigning for Collins at this point. They're a complete disgrace. Cancel your subscriptions to that rag. And apparently for some...
Bro, they're just running our greatest hits. What is this? You're just helping us out here, okay?
Not all allegations of assault are created equal. Igor Bobich reporting on X that Democrat Senator Sheldon Whitehouse says he's not impressed by the allegations against Graham Plattner in the latest New York Times reports. Seems like a lot of nothing. I mean, the only one who had anything to say that seemed unsettling was a woman who works for right-wing political operations.
That is just objectively a fact. They spoke to like 6 of his ex-girlfriends. 3 of them said he was totally fine, and if anything, they liked him a lot. They still like maintain contact with him.
He says,
and there's.
Okay, so I think that's all they're gonna say about Kyle. I think that's probably all they're gonna say. All right, let's get these videos uploaded, huh? How about that? How about that? All right, I gotta get the thumbie up. I hate being called a Democrat. Well, I just hate having to call myself a Democrat. It's fucking embarrassing. The Democrat Party is fucking pathetic. There are the thumbnails. Let's take that and download. Yeah, guys, click that link if you want a free Patreon sub. They're giving away free Patreon subs. Episode 468. I love inflation. Trump admits he destroyed the U.S. economy. Or, hold on. I love inflation. Trump admits that he destroyed the U.S. economy. Says we stole Iranian oil. Trump, thank you. Trump says we stole millions of barrels of Iranian oil. I love inflation. And then what will the last one say too? What will the last one say too? Trump, the U.S. claims it stole millions of barrels of Iranian oil, while Trump says I love inflation. Alrighty. Publish. Let's give that a little tweak. Right there. I love inflation. That's not me. Confirm. All right, that one's good and done. Let's make an advertisement for it. Oh, my boys want me to speak Spanish in the group chat. Hold on. Hold on.
Cuando los montañas están azules, la cerveza está fría. Coors Light. Prueba las montañas. Montañas están azules, la cerveza está fría.
That's in response to this new fucking Coors ad with the new Coors tall boy. It's got 3 beers in it. Coors is announcing not a tall boy, it's called a taller boy, and it has 3 fucking beers in it. And it says Coors. That's so fucking funny, dude. Oh Jesus. Oh Jesus. All right, let's make an advertisement. Let's make an advertisement. I love inflation. That's not me saying that. That's the President of the United States of America. He also said that we've been doing a secret military operation where we have been stealing millions of barrels of Iranian oil. I'll say it now. Nobody else is going to say it. Bullshit. No, you fucking haven't. This is you trying to cover your ass and trying to manipulate the market. Be like, oh, we're going to lower the price of oil. I swear to God. We stole hundreds of millions of Iranian oil barrels and we're going to put them out of the market. I swear to God. I swear to God. I swear to God. Not true. Bullshit. Complete bullshit. Then we talk about the all these different races that went really well for progressive candidates. Granted, Lindsey Graham did fucking win his primary, but that shouldn't surprise you. Graham Plattner won his primary in Maine. Nancy Mace got fucking bodied. Eat shit, you dirty farting ass bitch. So that's good. Yeah, we have a lot that we talked about. You had Chris Wright. I think he's testifying in front of the House, and he is asked directly, like, do you love inflation? And he's like, what? No. And they go, oh, okay, because your boss, the President of the United States, just said that he loves inflation. And Chris Wright is like, well, I agree with the president. Like, this is because, as we've said before, if you support Donald Trump, you're in a cult. This is an irrefutable fact. You're not allowed to have an opinion on this. If you disagree with me, you're wrong and stupid. But if you dissent from the Fuhrer in just the slightest little bit, you're fucked. You're kicked out of the club. This is what happened to Nancy Mace when she wanted the release of the Epstein files. This is what happened to Thomas Massie when he wanted the release of the Epstein files. And this is now happening to any and all Republicans who dissent from the Fuhrer even the slightest bit. We are past the point of no return. You no longer have to respect Republicans. All registered Republicans in the United States of America are pedophiles. All registered Republicans in the United States of America are cultists. There is no such thing as a good Republican. Stop debating with them, only ad hom them, insult them, harass them, degrade them, make them feel less than. If you're watching this and you're a registered Republican, I think you're fucking subhuman vermin and you are a detriment to our society, and we would be better off if you were enslaved in a fucking gulag. This is because the Republican Party doesn't exist. The cult of Donald exists. You don't get to be treated equally, you fucking rats. Oh, sorry. That one was a little bit too much. That was a little bit too much. Let me redo that. That was a little bit too much. Can't post that on Instagram. Can't do that. Actually, you totally fucking can, but let me do it one more time. Let me do it one more time. Let me do it one more time. One more time. One more time. Uno mas. Uno mas. Uno mas. I love inflation. That's a direct quote from the I love inflation. That's a direct quote from the pedophile-in-chief, the President of the United States of America, and the top child rapist pedophile, Donald J. Trump. He also admitted that we stole millions of barrels of oil from Iran, which I'm calling bullshit. No, you fucking didn't. This is you trying to manipulate the market to bring down the price of oil. You didn't steal diddly shit. The United States military is a paper tiger, completely incapable of completing some sort of operation like that. Every single fucking GI is a joke. You are all pathetic. But yeah, Donald Trump says he loves inflation. He says the war is back on because we bombed Iranian water facilities this morning, and now we're going to bomb their bridges and their electrical grids. All war crimes, by the way. But again, it's the United States military. You guys are a fucking war crimes factory. I expect nothing less from you. Other than that, Graham Plattner won his primary, so that's good, even though I don't really like Graham Plattner, just not because of the reasons why the Israelis don't like him. I don't like him because he was a fucking Blackwater mercenary and he did 4 tours in Afghanistan. I don't give a shit if he was sexting people or drawing dicks in a porta potty bathroom. Breaking news, man has boner. Shut the fuck up. And then I made a second YouTube video all about Benjamin Netanyahu saying,
there is no war in Lebanon. We are not at war in Lebanon. We are at war with Hezbollah, the same way that we were at war with Hamas.
It's complete and total fucking bullshit. It's the actual real life equivalent of there is no war in Ba Sing Se. So I'll say this, Benjamin Netanyahu, you and your repugnant rape state are slaughtering every last Lebanese person that you can because you don't view anybody other than Jewish Zionists as human fucking beings. And I pray that in my lifetime I get to see your nation turn into dust so I can take a shit on your fucking grave. Eat my asshole, Benjamin Netanyahu, and fuck every single Zionist. I don't give a shit if you're an Israeli Zionist or a Christian Zionist. If you're a fucking Zionist, you're a repugnant, disgusting piece of shit, and you deserve to have your human rights violated. Anyway, new YouTube videos, go check them out. 2 new YouTube videos, go check them out. If I triggered you, let me know. I love triggering vermin! Beautiful. 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 All right, get that uploaded. Get that uploaded. What kind of drugs do you think Netanyahu does? Probably opiates. Probably opiates. Let's get that uploaded.
I love inflation. That's a direct quote from the pedophile-in-chief.
No, but you don't understand. Inflation is good. Inflation is a good thing. War is good now. Pedophilia is good. You don't understand. Clip it and ship it. Let me get these uploaded. You guys want a Bella Ciao? I'll give you a Bella Ciao.
Una mattina mi sono alzato, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Una mattina mi sono alzato e ho trovato l'invasor, oh partigiano, portami via, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, 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 partigiano, portami via. Che mi sento di morire. Incredible. Incredible, incredible, incredible. All right. New episode of the Valenti VOD. New episodes.
All right, that's going up on YouTube. Thank you for the $5. Appreciate you, cunt punt. Get this on Tiki-Taki. They just took it down, brother? No, they didn't. You are incorrect. All right, let's get this uploaded on Tiki-Taki. New episodes of the Valenti VOD on YouTube. Oh, there's no way that ends up getting posted on TikTok. I'm trying to post on TikTok. It'll probably get posted and then removed fucking immediately. I keep farting. I wonder if you guys can hear my farts. You heard it? Good. Glad you heard it. All right, that's on. Jen just heard that and said, what the fuck? What the fuck do you mean, Jen? What the fuck do you mean, what the fuck? I'm a big farting and shitting. I'm the male version of Nancy Mace. I be farting and shitting. I eat lots of beans. Come on. Also, guys, hold on. I love inflation. Donald J. Trump. New episodes of the Valenti VOD on YouTube. All right, so I don't want to jinx myself, but I might as well. I was invited to an event tomorrow. I am still waiting to hear back to see if I will receive a new media badge. But I very well may meet a very handsome Muslim man tomorrow. Okay? I submitted a form for a new media press badge. And I very well may be going to a meeting tomorrow. And I may have the chance to meet this is not guaranteed, but I might have the chance to interview a very, very handsome socialist Muslim who is not the mayor of New York City. Okay? We'll see. We'll see. Do I need to cancel my plans tomorrow? Nelson, unfortunately, I don't even know if you're allowed in there. Like, and that has nothing to do with you. It has to do with, like, the invitations and the forms that we had to fill out and shit. I don't know if I could bring you. That's my problem. I know. No, dude, that was the first fucking thing I asked. Was like, can I bring a cameraman? They're like, no. You can bring a tripod. I had to give them a list of what I'm gonna bring. You know, tripod, shit like that, microphone. What time? I don't know. Sometime tomorrow evening at some point. Again, guys, none of this is guaranteed. I was invited. I filled out my form, but I have to wait to hear back either tonight or tomorrow morning regarding whether or not I will be receiving a new media badge, which is sort of like a press badge. Would you end up on the Hassanabi broadcast? It depends on if Hassan is live. But we'll see what happens, man. I mean, it's been a long time coming. I know that Hassan has watched my videos on stream before, so maybe I have a better chance of actually interviewing him. But if you guys have any questions that you think would be a good one to ask Hassan, let me know. Want to pull up for Game 4 tonight? Not really. You know, the reason why Game 3 mattered was because we were on a streak. But now that, like, we're not even on a streak anymore, I don't give a fuck. I'd rather pull up to watch the final game, you know, however that may be, whether it be Game 5 or Game 7. I'd rather pull up for the final game. This one doesn't matter nearly as much. Okie dokie. So all of the advertisements are uploaded. I want to get the video that we just uploaded up on Patreon, and then we're going to upload the other ones. By the way, thank you so much for all the recent patrons. You know, got a lot of new patrons. I really do appreciate that, guys. Are you bringing back Rabbit Hole? No. But we are starting a new show called New World. All right, title to this. I love inflation. Trump admits he's an idiot. Any of you guys see that Ocarina of Time trailer or teaser trailer? Oh god, dude, unbelievable, if I do say so myself. Ep 468, ad free. By the way, guys, if you are a audio only listener and you are interested in listening to this on however you watch your podcasts, this is now available on Spotify and your podcast apps. However you watch your podcasts, you can now find the Valenti VOD wherever that is. So if you're a podcast listener, if you're an audio listener, you can pull that up. All right. And publish. All right, so that video is on Patreon and YouTube. That's good to go. Yeah, dude, last night I fucking pre-ordered Gears of War E-Day Premium Edition. I pre-ordered Halo Campaign Evolved Premium Edition. I'm waiting to be able to pre-order the fucking Ocarina of Time Unreal Engine Remaster. I mean, what a fucking, like, dude, the games we have coming out, man, the games that we have coming out are incredible. I am so excited. So excited. Hey, Nelson, you want to do me one favor with this? Can you cover whatever that is with, like, the Valenti logo? Whatever the fuck that watermark is. Could you cover that with the Valenti logo? I would much appreciate. That flag is AI. Okay. And also, one other thing, Nelson. Now that I'm seeing it, hold on. Let me move my camera back down. This tail looks more like an arrow than it does a tail. If there's a different tail, or maybe like a black outline you could put, maybe you could put a black outline on it. I don't know. Let's watch Nelson work. Excuse me. What is the name of the podcast on Spotify, Valenti? I'm pretty sure it should just be under Valenti VOD. It's not. It's the podcast apps, the way that you download your podcasts. I'm pretty sure on Spotify, if you link your Patreon account to Spotify, you should be able to watch it on Spotify. The same thing with your podcast apps. You have to link it to your Patreon account, and then you'll be able to find it. Oh, there we go. Much better, Nelson. Much better. Much better. Much better. Much better. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. All right, we'll take that. Thank you. Download. Episode 469. This is from one of our new clippers. Let me see it. J.D. Vance is fucking Charlie Kirk's widow. The Emperor has no clothes, and his cock is real tiny. Hi, what up? I don't speak Chinese. I made a video criticizing Jerusalem Day in Israel, and in the middle of filming, the stream was shut down, and my video was instantly deleted, and I would just like to say... I know what you are. I know what you're doing. I know you're trying to suppress dissidents of your apartheid genocidal regime. I know you control the YouTube airwaves. I know you control everything. You're paying for the ballroom. I'm paying for the ballroom. We are paying for the ballroom, folks. The war rages on, ladies and gentlemen. And May the 4th be with you. We're recording this on May 4th. I don't have a lisp anymore. I went through speech therapy as a child. Kentucky had their Republican primary yesterday, and Thomas Massie lost. And he lost to the nation of Israel. Yes, the nation of Israel spent more money than any other congressional campaign in American history. This marked the most expensive congressional campaign in American history, putting forward the Israel First candidate of Edgar Ray! J.D. Vance. Dude, that's goated. That's fucking goated. That's fucking goated, bro. Big fan. Good work to that clipper. Good work to that clipper. All right. A/B testing. Netanyahu's message to the Lebanese people. Netanyahu just threatened open war with NATO. Netanyahu says there is no war in Lebanon. Netanyahu says there is no war in Lebanon. Israel threatens open war with NATO. Trim the fat. I swear I'm my own biggest fan, dude. I'm such a fucking narcissist. It's one of the reasons why I'm able to clock Donald's bullshit. There is no war in Ba Sing Se. Dude, the reason why I can clock Donald's bullshit is because we both use our superpower for different things. I use my narcissism for good. I call it tactical narcissism, okay? Donald uses his narcissism for evil, okay? He doesn't have any strategy. He's just a malignant narcissist, and he believes that he's already reached the top of the food chain, and so he doesn't give a fuck what the outcomes are. I use my narcissism for good. Did you win Graham Plattner's primary win in Maine? I did. Oh. Have any of you guys been watching Spider Noir with Nick Cage? Fucking so good. Fucking so good. All right, let's get the second video up. Excuse me. I have a whole playlist on Spotify called Tactical Narcissism, and I use it whenever I need to do some fucking crazy shit. I also go to therapy every week, you know? I know my problems. I address my problems. I have delusions of grandeur. I am a narcissist. You know, I have childhood trauma. I work on them. I don't believe Donald has ever stepped foot in a therapist's office, ever. Is therapy expensive? Well, healthcare is expensive, and healthcare covers my therapy. So, in a sense, yes, it is hilarious. It is expensive. At 469, ad free. Add to podcast, the Valenti VOD, and publish. There we go. There we go. I just want to say thanks. I've realized I've been making videos for over a year, and watching you has helped me become better on camera. Thank you, Pissed Off Politics. Yeah, man, I mean, listen, the one piece of advice I've always tried to give people who have a problem with talking on camera the way I do is really, really pretend that you are FaceTiming with your best friend or your family member. You know, at the end of the day, it's like, it doesn't matter whether there's 670 people here or 670,000. It should always feel like a one-on-one with the viewer. You know, the viewer is an individual. Always, always. Always. That's incredible advice, man. Thanks. Hope you use it well. What do we got? Oh, we got Adam Mockler on CNN. I can watch a little bit of Adam Mockler on CNN.
Negotiating now, and they want to make a very good deal. I think we are winning that battle, but you're really going to win it over the next 2 weeks when we declare total victory. It'll be a total victory.
It seems that the only person who really talking about a deal is Trump, and he seems desperate for one, and the Iranians are not that interested.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen the Ayatollah on camera since the bombing. So, yeah, the only person on TV is Trump talking about it. First of all, I'm thrilled that the Apache helicopter pilots are safe. I am happy that we are talking about peace and not talking every day about men and women in harm's way. It's in boots on the ground. But I think Jimenez has a point. Iran is not to be trusted. They are the largest state sponsor of terrorism in the world. They have the blood of hundreds, if not thousands, of Americans on their hand. They are a net evil to the world. And I'm glad that President Trump is talking about getting themselves a deal where they no longer can have access to a nuclear weapon. And according to reporting we've heard today, it really is about the timeline of what that taking down of all their nuclear arsenal looks like. I hope that is the case.
But
we don't have a lot of information to go
year.
to.
The White House said we obliterated what was left of the nuclear program that didn't exist
Correct,
to begin
but-
with, and anybody that said otherwise was fake news, and that's still on the White House's website as of today.
Yeah, so and there are
So
other
isn't it
there's
gone?
other places
We
that
can
we're
go home
supposed to
now
know
and keep more
about.
of our men and women out of harm's way, right?
Unfortunately, we can't do that because that is still underground. It could be recovered. We need
The
to
only way
to get the nuclear, the enriched uranium is to put boots on the ground.
Yes.
And so what is being negotiated right now is not even a deal of a nuclear framework. It's a deal to get a deal. It's to open the Strait of Hormuz, to start allowing some of those tankers to come out. And all of this, while this is happening, and we were talking about this earlier, is, this is a very active war zone. I mean, I think what's getting lost here is the fact that Iran used a couple thousand, $20,000 drone to shoot down a multi-million-dollar aircraft shows that not only do they have control over the strait, but they retain very strong capabilities, not just in the strait, but I think across the country. And so I think to Abby's point earlier of are we closer to a deal? It's I think there's hope that we're always closer to a deal, but
we are further from a deal.
Fruition. I mean, the JCPOA.
We are further away from a deal than we have ever been. The JCPOA was the closest we ever were to ensuring that Iran never created a nuclear weapon, which I've been vocal about this. I already disagree with that. I think that the world would be a safer place if Iran had a nuclear weapon, because then they would be able to rein in Israel.
18 months to get there.
I mean, Americans would not be faulted for thinking they're being strung along here.
Right.
J.D. Vance was asked about this by CBS. Here's his response.
You say very close. How soon? Could the deal happen before the midterm elections?
Oh, absolutely. No, I think we're going to know a lot before the midterm elections. Look, I think that the deal could happen in the next week, but the deal could also happen months from now.
Are the Iranians stringing President Trump along, in your view?
No, I don't think so. Again, I think their system takes a long time to reach consensus. I always hear people ask me, do you trust the Iranians? And what the president has said is, I don't trust anybody. I don't trust anybody. What I do trust is my own ability to negotiate. I trust our administration's ability to negotiate, and I trust the enforcement provisions that we're going to get in place.
Could be next week, could be months from now. I mean, it seems like they don't really have any idea how long this is going to take.
They don't have a clue.
In part because they have underestimated the timeline from the very beginning.
Yeah, Trump is definitely in over his head. This 4 to 6 week timeline is now over 100 days, and we've had all of the costs of this with none of the benefits. We've gotten zero political concessions on the nuclear question, on IRGC, on the regime change question. We have made no progress on that while spending over $100 billion. Americans are struggling with...
Did somebody just say Battlefield 6 Cairo Bazaar? Do you mean like the Battlefield 3 map Bazaar? Did they put in the Battlefield 3 map Bazaar onto Battlefield 6? Did they do that? Yes? I may have to end this stream.
Gas prices with the economy, and yet we are being lied to on TV by people who are saying this war is almost over. Every time we go to war with a country that starts with IRA, it ends up in a disaster where we make very little progress. We hit a grinding counterinsurgency, and now Iran seems to be waging asymmetric warfare in the form of the Strait of Hormuz. Donald Trump was promised that this would go like Venezuela, where if you chop off the head, the rest of the body falls in line.
Ooh, that's a really good idea. Go on Twitch, bro, stream it. Ooh. Yo, Nelson, you want to stream some Battlefield 6? You want to stream some Battlefield 6 later on Twitch? That could be good. That could be good. That could be fun. Yeah? All right, word. Everybody, make sure you follow me on Twitch. Valenti Videos on Twitch. I'll be live on Twitch later.
Did not work like that. The IRGC is different. And
Well, that didn't happen in Venezuela either.
Well, he was pitched that it would
Delcy is
work.
still a continuation of the Maduro
The regime
apparatus.
didn't change in Venezuela, but at least he was able to get out of it cleanly after Maduro was captured.
Well,
in
it was
this
a
case,
strategic,
it's very different.
right? It was a strategic, targeted operation versus this was a, I mean, I think it's really hard.
Venezuela.
Yeah, he was sold on the idea that he would be able to topple the regime very quickly and that the people of Iran would rally around the United States and they would take back their government, as he said, on February 28th when he gave that press conference. And the reality is that Iran's playbook is to run down the clock. It's to continue to string this out. It is in their interest.
I actually think that this idea that Trump told Netanyahu, you're going to be on your own if you keep doing X, Y, and Z, is something that if we'd heard that from another president, people would be hair on fire.
Well, I think Israel would like to destroy Iran. And I think President Trump is holding him back from doing that. So I think he's wanting Iran to cut a deal. And he's saying, look, I'm holding Israel back. Let's cut a deal. I think that's what's going on here. And Netanyahu is just ready to move forward with this. President Trump wants to cut a deal, and I think that's really what's going on here. And when people say, they're saying, well, Trump said no new wars. Look, Iran started this. They've attacked us for years. He took out Soleimani in his first term. So Trump's been aggressive with Iran. I don't think it's all that surprising what's happening here. And I think he wants to end this the way he wants to end it and not the way Netanyahu wants to end it.
But he did say no new wars.
What the fuck? 307 revives in one match you got? Somebody get this man a defibrillator. Wow. That's fucking crazy.
Over and over.
But he didn't start this one. People say he started it. Look, Iran's been at war with us for a long time, and he did take out Soleimani.
Iran's been at war with us. How many U.S. citizens has Iran killed on U.S. soil in their 47 years?
How many soldiers have they killed?
And why were our soldiers in the Middle East to begin with?
Okay.
How many Americans have they killed on U.S. soil?
So that's allowed? They're allowed to kill soldiers in the Middle East?
No.
Yes.
How many?
Actually, yes. Dude, this is why I can't go on these panels. You ask me, is Iran allowed to kill American soldiers in the Middle East? Yes. Yes, they are. We don't belong there. Absolutely. We have invaded the Middle East and we are trying to establish democracy. It's fucking bullshit. All we're doing is harvesting their oil. We would do the same fucking thing if they had bases in America.
Death to America for 47 years. How many U.S. citizens have they killed on U.S. soil?
Okay.
How many on U.S. soil, Hal?
So that's all
it's
that
an easy
counts?
answer. You
They
should
can
know it.
kill
Or is it like
Americans all
Ted
over the
Cruz, where you don't
world?
know the population of Iran?
Wow.
How many U.S.
Wow.
citizens have they
Okay.
killed on U.S. soil?
I don't know the answer to that. I would guess it's low.
0.
But I don't think that's the telltale test. I don't think you have to kill us on our soil. If you're killing us overseas, you're killing.
Why are we
you're killing
overseas
US
to begin
citizens.
with?
Are we really
Why
going
are
to go
our
into
soldiers in
global
the Middle East
politics
to
on why
begin
we're
with?
overseas? I don't think we
We're
have
talking about our. It just felt silly.
We're overseas because
why were they in the Middle East to begin with? And point to one Middle Eastern country we've made better by our involvement over there.
You have a Republican on CNN saying the only reason the United States is in the Middle East at all, ever, the only reason we ever went to the Middle East is oil. Oh my God, dude. I am so happy I'm only 28 years old because if I was Kyle Kulinski, poor Kyle. Oh my God, Kyle, if you ever see this. If I was Kyle Kulinski and I had to live through the entire Republican Party claiming that we were not in the Middle East for oil for like over a fucking decade, just to now have them going, yeah, that's why we're in the Middle East for oil, I would lose my fucking mind.
You know why we're there? It's because of oil.
What do you mean because of oil?
We need to protect our interests in oil, period.
Then maybe we should open the Strait of Hormuz, which was open before this war started, and we could open right now if we just left, which is in our interest.
So you're okay.
I
You're
think
for
Israel
Iran having
has
a nuclear
shown
weapon.
a
Got it.
remarkable.
Yes! Again, that's what me on the fucking on CNN. Me is her. Yes. Yes, Iran needs a nuclear weapon because clearly it is the only fucking deterrent from Western aggression. Let me ask you something, Chud. When was the last time we bombed North Korea? When was the last time we bombed China? When was the last time we bombed Russia? When was the last time we bombed France? When was the last time we bombed the UK? When was the last time we bombed Israel? The answer is never. Reason being, they have nuclear fucking arsenals.
Nuclear weapon now because they have learned that they don't need one. They've now learned through this war. By the way, Iran, a nuclear weapon, let me just dismantle that talking point really quick. The 18 U.S. intelligence agencies in our country.
We're back to those.
Back to those.
Well, that's what
What
told
is
us
that supposed to mean?
Because
back
they told
to
us
those.
that Saddam
Whose
Hussein
intel
had
do you trust?
weapons of mass destruction.
A lie.
Well, they were the 18 intelligence agencies you're about to quote. Go ahead.
No. It wasn't the intel agencies. It was the politicians. No, let me be clear.
What were you going
It
to say
wasn't
about
the intel. It wasn't the intel agencies that lied about that. It was the politicians, like your old friend Ted Cruz, that believed those lies and got us into those wars. And it was President Trump who campaigned on being different. And that's a separate thing I'm going to get into. But the 18 U.S. intelligence agencies concluded that Iran was not building a nuclear weapon, and that has not changed during the course of this war. However, what has changed is that Iran has now learned they don't need a nuclear weapon, because they can behave like a nuclear power without ever needing to be one, because they can just close the Strait of Hormuz if and when they ever want. And they have learned what China has learned, which is that you're never going to beat the U.S. military militarily. You beat us economically.
Yeah,
so
yes.
let's just dismantle that.
A last quick point on that.
I'll also point out, Iran is literally defeating us militarily. They are literally beating us militarily. They're using fucking $20,000 Shahed drones against our $1.6 million helicopters and winning.
Trump keeps saying how badly he wants a deal. The Iranians keep saying nothing. They're not negotiating, they're not coming to a deal, and they still have nuclear material on their soil. So it seems that they're the ones who seem to think that they have the upper hand to keep this going as long as they want.
Later, Cena.
Well, I think it's the economic lever more.
Pete Hegseth said they'll hit Iran tonight. Cena, yeah, no, we've been hitting Iran all morning. Last night. We'll be all right. Where are you, Cena? Are you in Tehran? Are you in Tehran, Cena? Let me know.
Just about more than anything else. Because
You are. You're in Tehran. Cena, do you know if you live near any bridges, any water desalination plants, or any electrical grid, like headquarters type shit? I don't fucking know what it's called. A generator? Fucking blow me. Do you live near any of those three things? I'm kind of far away from those. Okay, you'll be all right then. Hopefully. You'll be all right. Unless fucking, I don't know, Israel claims that you, Cena 6579, are in fact Hezbollah, you know. But you'll be all right. I got a feeling in my taint. You're going to be all right.
it is able to control not just the United States, but really the Western world in a lot of ways. And because of the way the Western world has treated that region for centuries, you can understand why there may be some animosity. And the bigger point there is that Netanyahu has been trying to push presidents into this for many presidencies. Mm-hmm. Trump's the only one.
Let's watch this.
But like, obviously, he doesn't deserve to be killed. It's insane.
So I'll be the first one to say this. I really know diddly fuck about this whole Carmelo Anthony case. I know that a white kid got like stabbed to death by a black kid. That's what I know. I don't know anything else. Now I know that the black kid claimed that it was self-defense. And then the white family claims that it was cold-blooded murder. I know fuck all about this case. And hear me out. This is important for you to hear. If your content creator knows fuck all about something, you better hope they tell you that they know fuck all about it, okay? So don't be asking me my opinion on this, because I don't, at least until we watch this. I don't know fuck all about this. I thought Carmelo Anthony was like, I thought that was like an athlete. I thought Carmelo Anthony was a famous athlete. Is that like a similar name to a famous athlete or some shit? That's what I thought. I don't know. I don't fucking know, but let's watch this.
That's an insane thing. I'm not going to stand by that. I'm never going to, if you were expecting me to say.
Same name? So there is a famous athlete named Carmelo Anthony. Okay. So that's why I didn't know fucking shit about this.
Like that, you're out of your mind. I'm sorry. Carmelo Anthony found guilty of murder over the Texas track meet stabbing. Martinez has been found guilty.
Oh, the track meet. Oh, okay. I do remember this a little bit. I remember this a little bit where it was like there was like a fight. There was some sort of a fight between like a black kid and a white kid, and one thing escalated to another, and I think the black kid ended up stabbing the white kid to death. That's literally all I know about this.
Guilty of murder over the fatal stabbing of another teen at a high school track meet last year. Carmelo Anthony, 19, was indicted on first-degree murder in the fatal stabbing of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf at a track meet in Frisco, Texas in April 2025. Prosecutors called the stabbing senseless and plain and simple murder, while the defense argued that Anthony acted in self-defense. The murder charge...
Wait. Oh my God! Oh my! And you wonder why I call her a fucking beans-eating ass, shitting and farting stinky bitch. And you wonder why I call her a beans-eating ass, stinky, shitting and farting ass bitch. Oh God, that's great. Oh God. Oh, that's so fucking funny, dude. Oh, I needed that. I needed that.
Carries a sentence of up to life in prison. Ahead of closing arguments on Tuesday, the judge decided that jurors could also consider manslaughter, which carries a sentence of up to 20 years in prison, according to ABC Dallas affiliate WFAA, which was in the courtroom for the trial. The jury began deliberating midday Tuesday before reaching a verdict in 3 hours. According to a court spokesperson, Anthony could be seen crying when he returned to the court for his sentencing, which will be determined by the jurors, the station reported. Anthony's mother was the only person to take the stand during the punishment phase, asking the jurors to show him mercy as he is sorry for what he did. The judge said that Anthony waived his right to testify during the punishment phase, according to the station.
I know nothing about this case, but I can tell you this. When you're in high school, there is never an excuse for you to have a knife, like, on campus. Okay? Personally, I was in a lot of fights in high school. Nobody ever whipped out a fucking weapon. There was one fight in my high school where a super senior, he put his keys in between his knuckles and he punched another kid in the neck and ended up like fucking like slicing open his throat and shit. That kid did survive because it was keys. It wasn't a knife. But like, I still don't understand why the fuck you would bring a knife. The white kid and his friend attacked him. It was def self-defense. Listen, people attack you and you fight back, that's fine. I don't understand why the fuck you would bring a knife to a school.
The deadly stabbing occurred at Frisco.
Of course, it was a Swiss Army knife. Okay, but again, at my high school, you could not even have a Swiss Army knife. You can't have any fucking knife.
Independent School District Stadium on April 2nd, 2025, during a track and field competition involving multiple schools in the district. Police said Metcalf, an 11th grader in Frisco Memorial High School, was stabbed during an altercation under a school's tent in the stadium bleachers. Witnesses said the two got into an argument over Anthony, a then 17-year-old student at Frisco Centennial High School, being under Metcalf's school tent during the rainy track meet. Jurors heard testimony over 4 days. Anthony did not take the stand in his own defense. Judge John Roach imposed a gag order in the case, restricting what those involved can say, and barred any electronics from the courtroom during the trial due to the attention the case has garnered. Collin Country First Assistant District Attorney Bill Wiersky.
My guess is he often experienced issues with other white students. Wouldn't surprise me. It's still not good to have a knife, though. Well, the whole thing is like when you bring out a deadly weapon in a fight, the legal explanation to that is always that you genuinely were in fear for your life, right? So again, knowing fuck all about this case, the kid who pulled out the knife has to prove that he genuinely believed his life was going to end if he didn't use that knife, right? That's the argument, whether it's a knife or a gun or anything. When you whip out a lethal weapon, you have to prove that you were in fear for your life. Right? That's the thing. Now, again, fights happen in high school all the time. There's a lot of racism. These fucking white kids probably targeting this black kid. Again, but the thing is, if the kid pulled out, I don't know, like a little Louisville Slugger and broke the white kid's knee, then we wouldn't be in this fucking mess. But when you whip out a fucking lethal weapon and you kill somebody, you have to be able to prove that you believed your life was in danger and you had no other choice other than using a lethal weapon. Okay? That's just the way that it is legally.
Told jurors that the stabbing was not self-defense but unjustified murder. In his closing argument on Tuesday, Worst Guy claimed that Anthony provoked Metcalf, questioned why the defendant didn't walk away, and then called the stabbing disproportionate. You don't get to meet a shove with a stab, especially if you provoke a shove, Worst Guy told jurors, according to WFAA. Defense attorney Mike Howard told jurors that Anthony had gone to the memorial tent to get out of the rain when Metcalf confronted him and told him to leave. Howard said Anthony acted in fear and chaos after Metcalf pushed him and stabbed the other teen in self-defense. During his closing argument on Tuesday, Howard said Metcalf had no legal right to use force on Anthony. In response to the contentions that Anthony could have just left, the defense attorney said,
Do you want to come up and say hi? Would you like some attention? Would you like to say hello to everybody on the stream? Oh, hi, Mrs. Winge. Hi, Mrs. Winge. Wingy. Hi, Winge. Wow. Okay. Enough. No more licks. I just showered. What? Okay, Bubba. I'll hold you for a wee bit. Am I that sweaty? I gotta put you down. You're gonna give me a whole body bath, a full body bath? Can't be happening, Winch. Can't be happening. Oh, somebody said Kyle Rittenhouse. Yeah, listen, I'm not gonna. Let me tell you one thing. I'm not gonna pretend like that this isn't disproportionate towards black people. If a white kid had stabbed a black kid in this scenario, the white kid probably would have gotten off. I mean, fucking not Kyle Kalinske. Holy shit. Kyle Rittenhouse. Kyle Rittenhouse got his guns and traveled across state lines and gunned down 2 black people and got to walk free. So if we're being honest, yeah, of course the white people end up getting preferential treatment. But my argument is that now hear me out here. You really hear me out here. My argument is that if a court of law can reasonably find Carmelo Anthony guilty of murder, then Kyle Rittenhouse should have also been found guilty of murder. It should be even across the board. I'm not saying because Kyle Rittenhouse got away with it, let Carmelo Anthony get away with it. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is if you murdered a motherfucker, you murdered a motherfucker, right? That's what I'm trying to say. Now, I know that's why I said listen to what I'm saying, because I know it sounds different than, it sounds worse than what it actually is.
Sure, he wishes he did. Multiple students who were at the track meet that day testified that they saw Metcalf push Anthony, who was seated on the bleacher, with some describing it as a 2-handed push, like a lineman move, while others said it was a 1-handed small shove. One witness testified that Anthony
Wait. There were no black jurors on his trial? Not one? Okay, yeah, no, that's insane. That's insane. Holy fuck.
15 times according to WFAA. Some recalled Anthony saying, "Touch me and see what happens," during the altercation, which witnesses said lasted about 4 to 6 minutes. Another witness quoted Metcalf as telling Anthony, "I'm not going to fight you." Surveillance footage from the track meet played in court did not show the stabbing, and some of the witnesses were asked to demonstrate the incident. After the stabbing, witnesses said Anthony jogged away from the tent, and a coach who spoke to him on the track testified that he said, "He put his hands on me, I stabbed him." A pocket knife used in the stabbing was found on the bleacher.
See, there's your fucking problem, son. You want to get away with stabbing a motherfucker, you can't say, "He put his hands on me, I stabbed him." You gotta immediately be like, "He tried to kill me." That's, again, this goes back to what I was saying earlier. You gotta be able to prove that you really did think you were gonna die. You know, it's either me or you, motherfucker. That's the scenario if you want to get away with this shit.
Police said. Collin County medical examiner Dr. Elizabeth Ventura testified that Metcalf was stabbed on the left side of his chest and the knife perforated his right ventricle.
So this is a pocket knife. There's a big difference between a Swiss Army knife and a pocket knife. You know, like, give me 1 second, I'll show you. Okay, see, a Swiss Army knife. Don't get banned again. Careful. I don't think I'll get in any trouble. Let's double check. Let's double check online. Let's see. Can I show a pocket knife on a YouTube stream? Yeah. Yeah, no, it's fine. Okay, listen, a Swiss Army knife has tools in it, right? A Swiss Army knife has screwdrivers and it has a little scissor thing. A pocket knife is a lot different. You know what I'm saying? A pocket knife is a lot fucking different. If you're bringing one of these to school, you're out of your fucking mind. I also think if you're bringing a Swiss Army knife to school, you're out of your fucking mind. But you would have at least more of a leg to stand on than just a fucking pocket knife.
According to WFAA. Several people spoke during the trial of the efforts to save Metcalf. A football coach who was helping the track meet testified that he put pressure on the stab wound, and Memorial's athletic trainer said she did CPR until paramedics arrived. Everybody was praying, Memorial High School head track coach Robert Starr said in an emotional testimony. I just knew Austin was gone. Metcalf
track meet was after school hours. It doesn't fucking matter, bro. You're in a school. You're at a school.
Transported to an area hospital where he was ultimately pronounced dead. Frisco ISD reacted to the verdict, saying in a statement, "We respect the judicial process and will continue to support our students with compassion and care. We know this trial has brought strong emotions and deep grief, and we ask our community to continue supporting each other with respect, sensitivity, and understanding." Yeah. I mean, it's pretty wild to hit it with a straight up murder rather than manslaughter, which again still carries an immensely high penalty. But I mean, it's the standard. Like the escalation still came from the party that was defending itself in this circumstance. And you can't, lethally defend yourself with a knife, according to this court proceeding. And it's an incredibly sad situation. But first degree would imply, I don't know how it works in this state. I don't know if this means like premeditation, which is ridiculous.
First degree murder means premeditation, and now they're probably claiming it was premeditation because A, he brought a knife, and because B, he said, touch me and see what happens, right? That's probably how they argued in court that it was premeditated murder.
But I guess all white jury, Texas.
All male jurors are white. 3 Asian women, 1 Middle Eastern woman, and 1 other woman of color. So I'm assuming like a Latina or something like that. But the fact that there wasn't a single black person on this jury is absolutely insane. It's supposed to be a jury of your peers.
Is the state as part of the reason. Am I missing something? Because it sounds like they got into a high school fight and he stabbed the dude, killing him. Why would this become such a big case? Part of the reason why it became a big case and received a lot of national attention is because people were like, initially, Carmelo Anthony's Carmelo Anthony told people on the scene immediately that he was acting in self-defense. And there was at least some evidence, as you've seen from eyewitness testimony, firsthand accounts that were there, that there was at least like an instigation coming from the victim. But it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Just because somebody pushed you, shoved you, or was behaving this way, it doesn't mean that you can like take out a gun and shoot them or take out your knife and stab them in the chest and kill them. So there was obviously a crime that took place. But I think that the consideration here is the severity of the penalties. But the reason why it turned into a big issue is because immediately every like right-wing white nationalist account was like, oh, we have to kill Carmelo Anthony immediately. This was a racialized hate crime. It was a racialized anti-white hate crime. And white people, when they're victims, still get punished, blah, 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 all the stuff. They postured. They leaned into this case to create this false dynamic as though like white people get punished unjustifiably in the eyes of both the media and also in a court of law, which obviously is not. I mean, there's no evidence to bear that out. I believe the defendant saying "touch me and see what happens" was solidify the first degree charge. First degree doesn't always mean long and well thought out.
Exactly what I
about
said.
Stand your ground laws, is that not a defense? I don't think. I mean, that's situational, and also usually stand your ground is if you're white and standing your ground, and stand your ground only works against black people more often than not. Black and brown people. There are rare instances where stand your ground will protect a black person.
Well, stand your ground laws ain't working for Chud the Builder. I'm pretty sure he got like a $1 million bond or some shit.
Barely, but it happens. But having said that, dude, I understand why this would not be considered a situation where stand your ground would apply. I mean, it's a severe escalation, especially considering that this wasn't in the process of like a brutal beatdown or something.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, so another thing is this too. Again, I don't know much about this case. Maybe you guys do. Did Carmelo Anthony have a black eye and a split lip and a concussion and bruises all over? Was he getting the absolute piss beaten out of him? I don't think he was, based on what I'm seeing here. I don't think he was. It's going to be incredibly fucking difficult to prove that your life was in danger if you weren't even in a fight. You know what I mean? There's escalation, a shove, a swing, an uppercut, take me to the ground, beat the fuck out of me, break my nose, whatever, and then, fuck it, my life is in danger, then you stab. You simply cannot go from somebody shoving you to you fucking stabbing them to death. You can't do that.
Just like had a knife in his pocket and he pulled it out. Like there were numerous outs for de-escalation in this back and forth, it seems, or at least that's what the prosecutor showed, and that's the reason why the case ended up being the way it is. Yeah, he was at a track meet. Hassan, I love you, but your legal takes are dog shit. Stay out of this stuff. You're right. I should never talk about. I should leave Asmongold to do the coverage.
This is a racist ass country. We're in a racist ass state.
Then leave. Then get the hell out.
He should be the only responsible
fucking
party
idiot.
that does coverage on this platform. Certainly, he has a far better grasp over, this kind of stuff.
Geez, South Park episode, video evidence and full confession. They still say he's innocent. Yeah, I know. It's because they're racist. Like, I don't know really how this is so confusing.
Or maybe you just don't agree with me, and that's why you're pissed off. First degree in Texas doesn't have a premeditation clause. It only requires knowing and willing conduct. Yeah, stand your ground is about not having duty to retreat when in danger. He pulled a knife after a shove. Like, if the eyewitnesses, because this happened in front of a lot of people. If all of the other testimony from the individuals that were on scene showed that Carmelo Anthony's life was in imminent danger, then I don't think that I don't think it would go the way that you think it would.
This is exactly what I've been telling you guys. You have to prove that your life was in imminent danger if you're going to use a lethal fucking weapon. You know, like, you can argue that the court decision to give him first-degree murder was racist and that the jury not having a single black person is racist. But you can't argue seriously. You can't be a serious person and argue that pulling out a knife and stabbing somebody to death at a high school track meet is a warranted response to being shoved. If this story was different, if Carmelo Anthony was getting the fucking brakes beaten off of him, then he would have more of a leg to stand on and he would still be in trouble. He would probably still get manslaughter charges, but it wouldn't be first-degree murder.
Like it's not like he was getting like pummeled or he was like, getting punched or brutalized. And in that moment, he like in a panic moment, in an effort to defend himself, he pulled out his knife from his pocket or something and then stabbed him. Even then, they would probably try to throw the book at him because he's a black teenager killing a white teenager. But it would be a much more defensible situation, I think. Whereas if there were numerous outs in that circumstance, it's unjustifiable regardless. Like Austin Metcalf obviously shouldn't be going up to this guy and being like, get the fuck out of my tent and whatnot. But like, obviously he doesn't deserve to be killed. It's insane. That's an insane thing. I'm not going to stand by that. I'm never going to. If you were expecting me to say something like that, you're out of your mind. I'm sorry.
Same thing here. I really hope none of you guys think that the white kid deserved to die. I really hope to God none of you think that, because if you do, you are far too gone. You are way too far gone.
What is this? So in Texas, there's only capital murder, death or life sentence without no parole mandatory, and murder, 5 to 99 years max. There's no first and second degree, but there is manslaughter. In another state, this would probably be second degree, but that doesn't exist in Texas. Yeah, like his defense could not establish that he was under imminent threat to his safety. and that it was obviously seen as a severe escalation from the party that was being bullied. Now, unless there's like additional evidence that was hidden in the trial or something, and they did a
Chatter says nobody needed accountability. Being stabbed to death is not a form of accountability. That's not facing accountability.
good job of like hiding the evidence. I understand why the case would go this way. I do think that you know, there are plenty of instances of leniency, political leniency, right? Kyle Rittenhouse and the like, many circumstances in the American criminal justice system where if there was a role reversal, this would not be as controversial, I guess. It would not, there would absolutely be a much more lenient sentence if Austin Metcalf was sitting in a tent and Carmelo Anthony walked up to him and shoved him. And then Austin Metcalf pulled out a knife and stabbed him in the heart and killed him. I think Austin Metcalf would probably walk free. Or at the very least, would get a much lighter sentence.
I agree. I agree.
That is the truth. Having said that, however, that would not be justice either. That would not be justice. So my argument isn't necessarily that...
Somebody said I'm not going to cry over high school bully. I don't give a fuck. Y'all are weird. Y'all are weird, bro. I was relentlessly bullied in high school, okay? They used to call me fat faggot. That's what they used to call me because I was fat and I did theater and I had glasses and I had braces and I wasn't on any of the sports teams. I was relentlessly bullied for years. Do you know what I did? I beat the fuck out of my bully and it stopped. But you know what I didn't do? Kill him. I publicly beat the fuck out of him. But that's different. That's completely fucking different, guys.
That there should be leniency in both circumstances, or, well, leniency isn't like they should be able to walk free in both circumstances. It's understandable that a egregious crime was committed, and therefore it's understandable for there to be some kind of punishment. It's not separate if you.
And I'll go even further. I'll go a step further. If I had killed the people who were calling me names and bullying me, I would have 100% been in the wrong, no matter what fucking names they called me. That you can't kill a motherfucker for bullying you. You can't kill a motherfucker for bullying you.
No. You're not understanding the point I'm making. I'm saying that, of course, being black is a relevant factor. Being black is a relevant factor in what would have taken place if the role reversal took place. If the role reversal was that a white teenager stabbed a black teenager and killed him. Fuck you mean? No, yes, the fuck it is. No, I'm not saying no, being black makes this not a separate case. I'm saying that systemic analysis is absolutely apt, which I offered. Okay, this is going to be an instance where people are either intentionally misunderstanding what I'm saying and act as though I'm not accounting for racialized sentencing disparity, which exists in the criminal justice system, and I talk about it all the time, and I just did in this circumstance as well. I wasn't saying that what your statement is, your statement itself is not incorrect, okay? The deployment in this situation against me as though I am at odds with what you're saying is incorrect. Chad is doing the thing where they agree with my overall analysis, but come at it as though they're in disagreement. There is no disagreement. And I can't tell if people just have some kind of, I mean, tensions are high. So I guess that's probably part of the reason.
Process here, what do we expect? Is the sentencing, the number of years up to this jury? Does the judge weigh in? This does vary from state to state and district to district.
It does vary, Martha, and obviously the fact that the jury is going to be weighing in on sentencing leads me to believe that they're going to be able to have some type of say, because otherwise the only focus or purpose they would have would be as if this were a death penalty case, which it is not. So given the fact that the jury is around for the sentencing phase leads me to believe that they will have a say. What I do think is really interesting here, and I think that this is the reason the case played out the way it did. The defense attorney knew that this jury was going to be involved involved in the sentencing phase. The judge was listening to all the testimony here, and I think this is the reason some of these facts came in. The things that we were talking about earlier, how he reacted after the fact. I think some of that is trying to be mitigating. I don't think that the defense truly believed that there was ever a true self-defense claim here, and that this is what they had to try on behalf of the client. But given the facts and circumstances here, I think putting this forth in the way to show this level of remorse, to show that he was upset and crying after the fact, I think that was part of the sentencing phase of this case. I also think the fact that Carmelo Anthony himself did not testify was very interesting, given the defense in this case, and that's not something that we've talked about today. And
if Carmelo Anthony wanted to show that he felt a lot of remorse, he probably should have testified himself. And, you know, like, listen, I've been to court. I had to testify. I've told you guys a million times. I was molested when I was a child by a teacher, me and a whole bunch of other students. And, you know, if we hadn't gotten on that stand and told our story and let the jury hear it from children, if they hadn't heard it from our voices, they probably wouldn't have believed it. You know what I'm saying? It might hurt to recant what happened, but sometimes you've got to do it.
And I think that that's a very, very significant portion of the jury making this decision on murder. I think had he testified, manslaughter may have played into it a little bit more, because he would have been able to say, I felt in fear. I felt like they were coming at me. It was a split decision. And looking back at the video, I don't see what it may be.
I wonder why. I actually do wonder why the defense didn't want him to testify. Maybe it was because they had a all-white jury and it was a rap.
I thought was happening at the time. And I think maybe those things may have played into a less serious conviction here. But the fact that he didn't testify, I don't think the jurors had any other evidence that they could hang their hat on. And we'll see if in the sentencing phase we hear more about that. But I really do think that the defense played into the fact that if he was convicted, these...
You're applying systemic critique to the court, but not the environment of racism that Anthony lives within. It's not fair to compare his actions to a similar instance where the races are flipped. Black people live in constant fear of white violence. No, I agree.
Weenie.
I understand that. I understand that. And
$10. If you meet Hassan, will you tell him I'm 69 weeks pregnant with his revolutionary offspring? I won't be doing that. Thank you for the $10.
That there's a lethal weapon at play,
fucking freak.
That falls by the wayside in most circumstances in every court of law.
Were certain pieces of information they needed to put out in front of this jury, so maybe the sentencing would not be, you know, as significant as it could be.
I don't know if we can hear this person who's speaking, or if we know if this is one of the attorneys. If anybody, okay, this is not one of the attorneys. It's someone.
No, that chatter is not saying. That chatter is offering justification to why Carmelo Anthony felt an immediate threat, an immediate fear of his life, which is why he took lethal action. I don't even think he meant to literally kill the person, like with a kill shot. You know what I mean? Because like, I don't think he's an expert assassin who knew exactly where his heart was and like was able to one tap him in the chest. Like obviously, it would require a lot more.
Nelson, you sent me a new socials badge. Let me check that out. Let me see how that looks. Yeah. I'll download that. Downloads. New socials. Let's try this. So it would be sources, weenie, image. New source. Whoa. Get rid of the old one real quick just to see it. Fuck yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Nelson. Is that good? That's better, ain't it? That's better, ain't it? Yeah? Weenie, mama, oh, all she wants is to be held. All she wants is to be held.
Skill and a lot more knowledge of how to do that. But at the end of the day, whether he was in fear of his life or not, he pulled out a knife, and clearly all the other witnesses around.
I also have to add it to this one like a fucking idiot. Hold on. Hide that. Image. Hold on, let me do something real quick. Because I usually am there. So then the socials needs to be like that. There we go. Or is that still too big? I feel like that's just a little bit too big. Right there. I feel like that's better. You dig that? I dig it.
Saw it as an escalation from his side.
Too small on the phone? Well, here's the thing. If you're on the phone right now, sure, it's too small. But then when I do that, it's okay, right? Now when I do that, it's okay. Yeah? All right, cool. We'll keep it like that then.
He was 17 years old, took a life, and now his life is gone too. It's an incredibly incredibly tragic situation.
Speaking outside the courthouse. Paul, let's talk a little bit about what Donna touched on here. Carmelo Anthony did not testify in his own defense. Do you think his attorneys now second-guess that decision?
Well, in light of... This was a teacher a man or a woman, if you don't mind me asking? If you're talking about the person who molested me, I'm going to start off by saying it doesn't matter whether it was a man or a woman. Now I'm going to say it was a man because I don't live in fear and I'm not ashamed of what happened to me as a child. But it doesn't matter, bro. And that's part of the reason why a lot of, you know, there's an old saying, which is nobody comes running when a young boy cries rape. You know, it's bizarre.
The fact that he's guilty of the highest charge, how could you not? And all I can say is if the cynical ploy here was to say, leave him off the stand, take...
Also hard to argue you didn't think stabbing someone could kill them? Oh, no, absolutely. I was just saying that, like, I don't think he was like an assassin who was like, oh, I'm going to stab him directly in the heart and kill him. Like, even in a panic moment where he's like, this is the only weapon that I have. I'm trying to give the most favorable to the perpetrator, like the most favorable scenario to Carmelo Anthony. And even in that circumstance, it's still at least manslaughter. Do you see what I mean? Like, it's impulsive.
See, what's funny
There's
about...
real fear.
Also, I'm not mad at you guys, and don't throw shade to that guy. It's fine that he asked that. We actually had two pedophiles at our school. One was a man, one was a woman. The young boys who were raped by that woman, the reaction across the board from other students and even parents was disgusting. It was like jealousy and glazing them and patting them on the back. And then the reaction to the young boys who were raped by a man was equally as disgusting, and it was calling us gay. You know, like one of the first things that a lot of people would ask me when I brought up that I was molested by a man, by a grown man as a child would be, "Are you gay?" That was baffling to me. I was like, what? What the fuck? What does that? No. And this isn't even gay or straight or bi. This is just rape. This is just a rape.
And even in that circumstance, it's hard to see it as not manslaughter, regardless of the imminent threat, because the imminent threat didn't reach a physical level beyond a push. Two-handed shove, one-handed shove, doesn't matter. Part of the reason why I think he got the maximum worse sentence here is because of the racial component, though. All-white jury, state of Texas. He doesn't testify, doesn't get cross-examined, and they hit him with the maximum penalty because it has a national prominence. The case became like an issue of national significance. How do people come to a judgment on this without seeing a video or some kind of evidence? Eyewitness testimony. There were numerous people around.
Of a minor victory at sentencing from this jury, I think it was a mistake. The way this went, and in light of the tenor of the defense witnesses, who, as I said earlier, some of whom were reportedly black. There's no cameras in the courtroom, but that said, reportedly black testimony from black witnesses, excuse me, and testimony on the defense side, wherein at least one of them started crying. It broke for the prosecution. So at that point, if you're sitting where the defense is and you're about to continue with your case, you probably have to go back and say, hey, look, we got a Hail Mary here, and that is we put you on the stand to play for a sympathetic jury sentence after a top charge conviction.
Didn't all the testimony say Anthony was guilty, was the one who escalated? Eyewitness testimony said that, no, Anthony was, no, they didn't say that Anthony was guilty. Eyewitness testimony said that, yes, he was bullied, or yes, he was, some said he was shoved with one hand, some said he was shoved with two hands, but it wasn't, the overall eyewitness testimony from every single person involved, it didn't make it seem as though Carmelo Anthony's life was in imminent danger. There were 4 non-white members of the jury, non-black though.
Feels to me like the kind of 1 in a million shot you never want to put your client in the position of. Feels to me like it would have, at that point, the way things were going, to Donna's point, say, you know what, let's try to elicit some sympathy. Carmelo, get up there and do your best. The only thing I can think of is that they felt like, for some reason, there are some facts that we have not heard, that the prosecution may have been able to draw out of Carmelo that they felt would have even further hurt their case. Things like why he went to the tent, why he had the knife. There may be things that come out that we didn't get in the and this happens, that we didn't get for various evidentiary reasons in the 4 corners of the case that we're going to hear subsequent. Because one of the things you notice you didn't get a lot of is character stuff here. You didn't get even about Metcalf. Like, one of the things I was...
So he was bullied, and as a result, he stabbed someone. Is that what I'm getting out of this? Yeah. Yes. No matter what side you're on, that is what happened. He was bullied, and he stabbed his bully to death. Now the question is whether or not the fact that there weren't any black people on the jury had something to do with his much worse sentencing, or if, with the fact that he was a black guy who stabbed a white guy had something to do with it. And obviously that all plays a fucking role. We live in a country with systemic racism. Of course it plays a huge role. Chris, are you okay? Yes, I'm okay.
I was kind of waiting for when the defense came forward was I was starting to wonder, do they have some...
Sorry, I didn't mean to give you attitude there. I am okay, guys. Don't worry about me. This happened to me over a decade ago.
Sort of thing up their sleeve that's going to paint the victim, however unsavory that is, and I think we'd agree it is because the kid is dead, but do they have something where they're going to essentially paint the victim as somebody who almost deserved it, a bad kid who's had what was coming to him? And of course, all the reporting cuts against that, and ultimately that's not what happened. But I'm wondering if we're going to get some kind of character stuff that's going to come out that for whatever reason they decided let's not roll those dice. Because the way this thing went,
come on,
and you
man.
can't argue with.
Now he's implying that, like, classic Fox News, implying that he's like, if he were to defend himself, if we go on the stand, he would come across like unfavorable.
The way it concluded, if you're sitting where the defense is, I think I might have taken the shot. Carmelo, get up there. Do your best to be sympathetic. Maybe we get the manslaughter, and as a relatively young man, you'll see the light of day again.
Very interesting. Paul Morrow, thank you very much. So, Donna Rotuno, we're waiting to hear from these attorneys, and we're also going to hear from General Jack Keane here in a moment on the downing of a U.S. helicopter. So we want to get to that story as well. But is there a framework for sentencing here that is applicable based on this, the environment of this case? That
Chatter just said, yet you're forced to go to school and deal with it every day, and then when you snap, it's all pity for them in jail for you. That's crazy, bro. You're crazy, bro. He fucking killed the kid. Of course the dead kid is gonna get pity. He's a dead child. Of course he's gonna get pity. And yes, of course you're gonna go to jail. You killed a child. What the fuck is wrong with you guys? Oh my fucking Christ.
Speaks to you?
Well, I don't think that he's going to get the maximum. I don't. I think that we are going to hear him be more humanized in front of this jury now for sentencing. I do think that given the fact that manslaughter was on the table and the jury rejected that, I don't think you'll see less than 20 years. But I definitely do think that you will see a sentence where maybe this young man can see.
Then the dead kid shouldn't have bullied the other kid then? Oh my God. I often forget how many of you are mentally fucking disabled. I'm gonna say this one time and one time only. If you think a good way to deal with being bullied is killing your bully, you're a fucking idiot and you should be disconnected from civilized society. You're not one of us, okay? Take all of the context out of it. If you think killing your bully is the solution, you're a fucking psychopath and you need professional help.
Light of day at some point in his life. One way or another, Austin Metcalf is never coming back, and this tragedy has already been compounded, given the fact that he will never be able to live again. And of course, Carmelo Anthony can, and his family can still go and visit him. And so I definitely think that the jury is going to, or the judge, whoever's going to.
And also, let's point out one other thing. Here's a fact. Every single school in America, private, public, Catholic, doesn't matter. Every single school in America has a bully. There's at least one bully in every single school. If you're gonna stand by that logic, then you should start advocating for fucking every school should kill their bully. The reason why you don't advocate for that is because that's fucking insane. It's insane.
Down the ultimate sentence, it's going to be stiff, and I do think that it's going to be several decades. I'm just not so sure we're going to hear a life sentence here.
So in terms of how this is going to work, I imagine we're going to hear victim impact statements. The judge and the jury will hear some statements from these families, correct? And is there any opportunity on the Anthony side for them to, plead for leniency in this case for any reason?
Absolutely. Absolutely, Martha. You will. You will hear victim impact statements from his twin brother, from his parents, anybody that was close to him, if he has grandparents living. I mean, I'm sure we will hear from all of those people. They will also testify, most likely, in front of this jury if asked to do so. And Carmelo Anthony's family will have the same ability. His parents will be able to get
What the fuck is Hassan doing with his... Hold on, I have to move my camera. What the fuck is he doing?
What life will look like without him. Now,
Was he
remember,
putting in a lip
he
pillow?
has been out, and so he has been home with parents. Will be able to get up and talk about. I mean, I'm sure we will hear.
Was he putting in a lip
from
pillow?
all of those people. They will also testify, most likely, in front of this jury if asked to do so. And Carmelo Anthony's family will have
Biting
the
his
same
nails.
ability. His parents.
Bro, I bite my nails, but not with my fucking molars. Not with my fucking molars.
Parents will be able to get up and talk about what life will look like without him. Now, remember, he has been out, and so he has been home with his family. That changes today upon this conviction, and he will be taken into custody, as we heard earlier. So they will talk about what it means to not have him at home. The siblings.
He has a horrible habit of biting his nails. You have no fucking idea. You have no fucking idea what a bad habit biting your nails looks like. You don't even have the fucking slightest clue, gang. My shit is demolished.
I mean, there was one moment where they were being a little ridiculous, but overall, Fox
Didn't get a
News
notification until now. Shag, you just got a notification. What the fuck?
commentary on this has been even surprisingly even keeled, and that
those are toes. You fuck. I used to put garlic oil on my nails. I'm Italian, Shag. You think garlic oil is gonna stop me from biting my nails? Bitch, that's flavor. Are you out of your gourd? Are you out of your fucking gourd? What, do you not like garlic? Get the fuck out of here.
I don't mean like it's good. I'm just shocked that they're not literally endlessly posturing about how endlessly posturing about how this was a race war that was almost lost but is now won. You know what I mean? Maybe my framing on this is so busted by what I see.
You know
on
what
the
that'd be
internet
like?
all
I'm
the
gonna
time?
say something racist, but hopefully Shag is okay with it. That'd be like if you came to me and you were like, I gotta stop biting my nails. And I was like, oh, you know what helped me? I put cardamom all over my fucking nails. And suddenly, I no longer wanted to eat them. That's so racist, but I could not stop myself.
Because, like, on the internet...
But the thing is, Italians are not white, so you were racist first. You were racist first.
Yeah, the way that they talk about this case is like is people foaming out the mouth, like they were like, oh, he's doing this because he wanted to kill white people, blah blah blah, all this. They were doing the same thing that they did in the UK with the other kid who was stabbed by the Sikh man, the Sikh.
I was
man.
a racist here, bro. I saw the funniest stand-up comedy act where the guy goes. He goes, you guys do know Italians are just stupid Jews, right? That's what Italians are. They're just, it's the same thing. The way that the Jews make like giant companies and they make millions of dollars. The Italians do the same thing, but it's, I'm in construction. I'm in waste management, right? We're just stupid Jews. That's all the fuck we are.
Man, the white guy, what's his name? Nowak? Where it's like, this is classic. This is what happens to white people. White people are under attack. Henry Nowak. But for Fox News to not do that is I guess, kind of strange. I feel like it's a little unexpected. Maybe.
And also, I'll tell you one thing. There is a long connection between Italians and Jews, right? Like, Italians and Jews have very similar family dynamics and very similar, like, you know, like keeping everything really tight-knit and having a, you know, like when we have Christmas dinner, there's like 45 to 50 fucking people there. You know, like the specific cuisine, like, I don't know. I feel like Jews and Italians have a lot in common.
Because, like, Twitter has rotted my brain, and I just assume that that's... Nah, I think Fox News would do that normally. I don't know why they're not openly baying for blood. Strange.
He may have and how it affects their lives and how he, you know, although alive, will be missing from their family for a long period of time as well. And so they will talk about that impact. They will talk about things in his life that are different from this. Because remember, this is a, 4-minute.
Yeah, all the different varieties of garlic oil, you know, like, it's just the way it is.
Aspects of his life. And so we're going to hear about the other 17 plus years that he's lived and the things that he has done and the impact on his family. And so again, there are no winners here. So no matter what happens, this is a tragedy.
Indeed.
All right, well, you got my take on this whole fucking thing. Oh, let me bring my camera back down there. camera right back down there. There we go. All right, well, you heard my take. Let me move my socials over to the edge. There we go. All right. Wow, I look sweaty and crazy. Holy shit. All right. Well, you heard my take. I'll stress it again. Systemic racism is definitely playing a role in the sentencing and the fucking first-degree murder charge. The fact that it was an all-white jury or not an all-white, but a non-black jury. Yeah, systemic racism plays a huge role in the sentencing. However, you cannot murder your bully. You can't do that. And if you are gonna do that, you've got to be able to prove in a court of law that your life was in imminent danger. The only way that you can use a lethal weapon in a fight is if you can prove that your life was in imminent danger and it was me or him. That's the way it goes. That's just the way it goes. You know, that's just the way it goes. Oh, that's me. Hi, me. What? Kyle Rittenhouse got off free. I know, and he shouldn't have. And he shouldn't have. That's the part where I'm saying the systemic racism plays a huge role in this. A white guy commits this crime, he gets away with it. A black guy commits this crime, he doesn't get away with it. My argument is that if you commit that crime, it doesn't matter if you're black, white, Asian, Latino, trans, gay, straight, bi, it doesn't matter. You can't fucking murder people. You just can't murder people, okay? You can't do it. And the one thing I really want to stress is that there are ways to deal with a bully. Killing them is not one of them. Beating the ever-loving fuck out of them is. That's what I fucking did. That's what a lot of people fucking do. They swing back. That's how you stop a bully, not by fucking killing them, bro. Granted, it is one way to stop them, but it's not worth it. It's not worth it. You know? That's my take. That's why gangs exist. What? What? There's a lot of reasons why gangs exist. Anyway, long stream, nearly 3 hours. Nearly 3 hours. Anyway, I'm out of here, guys. I'll probably be live on Twitch playing some Battlefield 6 at some point tonight. I'll let you know. I'll make a post on YouTube to let you know if I do. I'm out of here. Later, gang. Bye-bye-bye-bye. Bye-bye-bye-bye.